All right, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is the 25th of August, 2024. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy and Chief David Reimer. We are now underway with multiple supercell thunderstorms capable of producing large damaging hail, and we do have multiple tornado warnings now in effect. We've got a tornado warning near Frederick, Oklahoma, tornado warning near northwest of Olney, Texas, southwest of Archer City, and we've got a tornado warning northeast of Goldsboro, northwest of Coleman. That could eventually become an issue for the city of Coleman. So let's get to it and start off by saying a tornado watch is in effect for the Big Country, northwest Texas, and Texoma through at least 9 p.m. A tornado watch will likely be needed for the DFW Metroplex in North Texas after dinner time. These severe storms on the Big Country, northwest Texas, are probably going to impact the DFW Metroplex by 9 p.m., though I will say they are kind of running ahead of schedule, so it may be closer to 7 p.m. at this rate, given the fact we have a storm already in Young County, and that's only about 85 to 90 miles west of Interstate 35, and these storms are moving east at 30 miles an hour, so yeah, it might be closer to 7 p.m. at this point. Most intense storms today are going to be capable of producing tornadoes. Off the bat, yeah, we've got a pretty substantial tornado threat. The potential for giant to extreme hail, softball, 4-inch in diameter, to DVD, CD size hail, 5 inches in diameter. Yeah, we don't pull that one out of our back pocket very often. Localized damaging winds over 80 miles an hour. Now, the good news is, if there is any good news, we don't have many storms that are going to be capable of producing all those extreme hazards. And by the time these storms approach I-35, we should only have a couple of storms. But the storms we have are going to have attitude, and they're going to have a nasty attitude. So let's get to it. Again, we've got a couple tornado warnings to deal with, so let's just talk about it. We're going to start from south to north. This is going to be a thunderstorm with a confirmed tornado north of Novice, east of Goldsboro, northeast of Goldsboro. This is moving into northern portions of Coleman County. This thunderstorm may eventually pose a direct threat to areas in and north of the city of Coleman. This storm's moving southeast. The radar track thinks it's moving northeast. The radar track's dumb. Switch over to the which way the wind's blowing mode. Again, this is a confirmed tornado. This thing's got a strong gate-to-gate circulation. We've had reports visually of tornado already in progress, which isn't necessarily, well, it's not a good thing in any way, shape, or form, but it's early. Honestly, the tornado risk we thought was going to stay on the low side until about 5 to 6, 7 o'clock. The fact these storms are already starting to produce tornadoes is not a good omen for what's going to happen in a few hours when low-level wind shear triples. Cloud base is lower with some loss of daytime heating, and we go from, a few tornadoes, big hail, to the potential for relatively big tornadoes and really big hail. So again, this is going to be a potentially busy evening across portions of the Big Country, North Texas, and Texoma. Most folks are not going to get hit with storms. Some folks are going to get hit with really big storms. All right, this is going to be a tornado on the Coleman-Callahan County line in the Big Country. I'll zoom out for references. Again, you can see this is well south of Abilene, west of Cross Plains, north of Novice, well northwest of Coleman at this time. Let me turn on the thing that lets me do data probes. Again, we've got winds moving towards the radar, about 65 miles an hour, winds moving away about 30, 100 mile an hour gate-to-gate shear, well-defined hook echo. And again, this is a confirmed tornado at this point in far southern Callahan County, moving towards northern Coleman County. If this storm, honestly, the storm is moving more east still. Like yesterday, like the last few days, we're going to have erratic storm motion. Some of these storms are going to be moving south-southeast. Some of these storms are going to move east. And some of these storms are going to fly north-northeast. I won't go into the whole magical land of meteorological discussion at this point, but this storm's moving due east versus southeast, which means this may pose a threat to places like Burkett, Crosscut, Cross Plains, Pioneer, Rising Star in southwestern Eastland County in the next hour. Okay, so those of you all the way east out here, This storm may be with us for a while. So Cross Plains, Rising Star, maybe even towards De Leon, northern portions of Brown County. Heads up, this is a supercell now with a history of producing tornadoes. Big hail. It's moving east at 30 miles an hour. All right, we have a tornado warning farther north. We'll switch to, let me see which radar is closest for this. Yeah, it still should be the Dias radar, I believe. We'll make sure. Hey, come on now. Be nice. Be nice. Be nice. It might be the Frederick radar. We'll see if we can see this through all these other storms. It's not as bad. All right, so this is going to be a severe thunderstorm northwest of the city of Olney with a circulation, the potential for large hail. This storm is moving east also at about 30 miles an hour. This is a tornado warning for southern Archer County. This storm is riding the young Archer County line. Circulation on 114 between Olney and Megarog, whatever, I don't care. And this is going to be moving east, kind of passing, it should pass just north of Olney. Hail, maybe some in Archer City. This is going to ride the young Archer County lines, moving eventually into northern Jack County over the next hour. This storm, again, moving east right now at about 30 miles an hour. We'll go ahead and put a storm track on it.
A new tornado warning has been issued for Callahan, Coleman, and Taylor County in Texas.
We'll talk about that in a minute. Again, this storm moving east at about 30. That's where it's going to be in about an hour. Southern portions of Clay, northern Jack counties. And again, this thunderstorm could also continue to be tornadic. The potential for very large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes. Again, we've got a pretty noticeable tornado risk today. The last several days in Texas, we've had a low risk. Today, that risk is higher, meaning we're more concerned about tornadoes and eventually the potential for some of these tornadoes to be down for longer periods of time, and they could be on the upper end of the intensity scale. So we're probably going to be here for at least another 5 to 6 hours. We've got severe storms northwest Texas. These are hailers, at least at this point. We've got a hailer southwest of Electra, well west of Wichita Falls, Iowa Park. I'll go ahead and put a loop on this so y'all can see what the motion is over the last hour. And I'll zoom out for a regional scale. But again, we're going to be here for quite a while. This is going to be a busier day, I believe. Again, you can see this storm southwest of Electra kind of has slammed on its brakes the last several minutes. We've still got some wonky storm scale interactions going on. This is going to be moving northeast towards Cadane Corner, Folks, Iowa Park on 287. That could have some small hail with it, maybe quarter size. What it's worth, we've got a supercell just north of Frederick, Oklahoma. That's tornado warned. That could be a direct threat to the city of Lawton in the next hour in southwestern Oklahoma. It's going to be a busy day for Oklahoma and Kansas well into tonight. Unfortunately, another evening tornado outbreak is expected there, and we're on the tail end of this, and we'll see how busy we end up being in Texas, but we may end up being pretty busy. So again, possible tornado near Frederick, Oklahoma, moving northeast towards the city of Lawton. Possible tornado just northwest of the city of Olney by maybe 4 or 5 miles, moving east. Should stay just north of Olney unless it digs a little south, and again, it's going to be close. That's going to eventually make it into southern Clay, northern Jack County, and North Texas over the next hour. That storm's moving east at 30 miles an hour. We have a storm down in southern portions of Callahan County, far northern Coleman County. That currently has the potential of producing a tornado, large hail, damaging straight line winds. So now that I've talked about what's going on, let me quickly switch over to the high-res rapid refresh model. I'm going to show you what we think is going to happen tonight. And again, we may not have many storms to deal with in Texas over the next several hours, but those storms we have are going to have attitude. All modes of severe weather, including a tornado threat, will be possible. We'll switch over. Let's see what the HRRR has right now. And by right now, I mean back at 4 o'clock. This is so we can see how well the model is doing. Let me press some buttons here. You can see this model has none of this right now, which is not a good omen in terms of how well it's doing. But again, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So you can see this model's late. It's not an abnormal thing for storms to fire earlier. But, keep in mind it's running late. It has these storms on I-35 at 10 o'clock from near the DFW Metroplex up to Oklahoma City. At this point, it may be closer to 7 o'clock. And again, these could all have the potential for large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes. But again, we're not going to have that many storms to deal with. Maybe 3, 4, maybe fewer than that. And they fired a bit earlier, so we'll see what that does. But again, DFW, North Texas, Texoma, Gainesville, Sherman, you're going to have problems with these later. Wichita Falls, same story, except your problems are going to be within an hour. All right, let me do some housekeeping over here. We're going to switch over to the chaser wall, and I'm going to do some surgery on here and actually change these around on the fly. So we've got Chelsea out there right now. She's approaching this storm west of Cross Plains, so we'll be able to get a good view from Chelsea Burnett. Adams up in Oklahoma. And Jason won't be out until a bit later. So let's go ahead and do some surgery here. We'll move my big old head over to the right. And again, Chelsea Burnett is going to be located near Cross Plains. So we'll get a view of this southern storm from her shortly. A lot of our chasers are up in northwest Oklahoma, southern Kansas today. And again, you can see we've already got storms underway across western portions of North Texas, northwest Texas, into western Texoma. So again, I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy and Chief David Reimer. It is 4:20 on this, the 25th of May? Yeah, 25th of May, 2024. We're monitoring multiple severe thunderstorms now underway in parts of the big country, northwest Texas. I say multiple, technically 3 to 4 at this point, capable of large hail, damaging winds, and yes, the potential at time for tornadoes. The threat for these storms to produce tornadoes will probably continue over the next several hours as they move from west to east. Most of these storms are going to be moving east at about 30 miles an hour. Some storms are moving northeast. Some are going to try to move more east or east-southeast. It's my head, I know. It got kind of dark in here. We'll turn on some lights. There, now my beautiful bald head can reflect and shine at all of you and blind you with its gloriousness. Yeah, no. One day I'm just gonna, well, here, it's actually my birthday in 5 days. I'll wear a special birthday hat if we're having to do severe coverage in 5 days. If we're having to do severe coverage in 5 days, I'm going to be very sad, but... Alright, so it is through 4:23 now on the 25th of May, 2024, Saturday. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy and Chief David Reimer. We're monitoring a few severe thunderstorms across portions of the big country, northwest Texas, Texoma. These storms are producing large hail, localized damaging winds, and intermittent tornado genesis. Tornadoes, spinny, spinny, doom dooms. Chelsea Burnett is located on the storm southwest of Cross Plains, Texas. We also have a storm on the Young-Clay County line. That is just northwest of the city of Albany. That is moving due east. towards portions, or excuse me, the Archer Young County line moving east towards the Clay Jack County line. We've got storms from near Fulks in western Wichita County to west of Cadane Corner in northeastern Baylor County. Those storms are moving northeast with some small hail. We've got a cluster of supercells in southwestern Oklahoma racing north-northeast up Interstate 44. That is going to end up being an issue for the city of Lawton. And eventually, we're going to see this threat spread east towards places like Montague County, Wise County, Eastland County, Brown County.
A storm warning has been issued for Archer, Baylor, Wichita, and Wilbarger County in Texas.
Case in point, over the next couple of hours, these storms could be approaching I-35 in Texoma to the DFW Metroplex by 7 p.m. Specifically, this cell near Olney could be an issue for places like Denton County by 7 p.m. And again, the strongest of these storms this afternoon and this evening will have the potential of producing tornadoes. Baseball to softball to DVD size hail. Yeah, if you're younger than me, you probably don't get a reference to a CD or DVD. That's 5 inches in diameter. Go find a ruler. Measure 5 inches. There you go. That's the hail size we're talking about. That'll ruin your day. And the potential for localized damaging wind gusts over 75 miles an hour. So again, we've got a tornado warning. This is going to be a tornado warning for portions of southern Archer County. A severe storm capable of producing a tornado, large hail, damaging wind gusts. That storm's moving east at about 25 to 30 miles an hour towards southern Clay County, northern Jack County. We've got a tornado warning for southern Callahan County. That storm is slowly moving east towards Cross Plains, Crosscut, Burkett, northern portions of Coleman County.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Archer and Clay County in Texas.
And again, those storms, or that storm, could eventually be an issue for Eastland County and Brown County. And again, you can see we don't have many storms. This is not going to be a day where we're dealing with a whole line of storms all the way from Wichita, Kansas to Laredo, Texas. The cap probably is going to hold farther south. In fact, here, this is satellite. You can see we've had one storm try to go up off the higher terrain in northern Mexico. As soon as it moved off the mountainous terrain down there, the cap squished it. Cap being a lid on the atmosphere. And then the dry line so far, we have really nothing going on.
Happy birthday, David.
In the Concho Valley, on the dry line, you can see a lack of low-level cumulus there. And in fact, I'll switch this over to the true color mode just for a little more realistic look. There you go. It's hazy, it's humid, it's hot, especially across the eastern two-thirds of Texas, east of that dry line. West of the dry line, it's windy, it's very hot, it's very dry, and there's wildfire danger. But again, these storms, western North Texas, northwest Texas, the big country. Notice how we've gone from big old blobby mode in northwest Texas. We're starting to see some dominant supercells here. We've got a dominant supercell crossing over Highway 283 between Coleman and Bayard. That's moving east towards Cross Plains in Eastland County. We've got a dominant supercell south of Archer City. That's crossing over Highway 79 between Olney and Archer City. That's moving east towards northern Jack, southern Clay County. We've got a few less organized storms in Wichita County. Those could have some heavy rain, some hail. And then we've got some storms trying to get more organized in southern Oklahoma. It's these eastward moving supercells that are out by themselves. I'll stop this loop here. And just for, short-term range analysis, let me turn off the satellite so you can see what I'm about to draw. This threat corridor. This threat corridor. This up towards Oklahoma City, southern Oklahoma. Threat corridor. So again, we're not dealing with a solid line of storms. We're not dealing with a whole lot of storms, but the storms we have, especially these eastward moving tornado-warned supercells, oh boy, could these be a problem over the next several hours. These are probably going to be long-lived and at times tornadic supercells capable of producing tornadoes, destructive hail, damaging winds. They're moving east at 30 miles an hour. These are the kind of days where these storms out here in western North Texas, out in northwest Texas, probably will make it to I-35 by 7 to 8 p.m. with a continuing threat of all modes of severe weather, which means, yes, those of you along Highway 380 and Highway 82.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Brown, Callahan, and Coleman County in Texas.
From Graham to Wichita Falls, to Denton to Gainesville, to Sherman to McKinney, should already start watching this storm that is still a good 80 to 90 miles to your west, because it's probably going to make it to your locations in the next 2 to 4 hours. The potential for tornadoes, destructive hail, big wind, heavy rain. This thunderstorm near Cross Plains, moving towards northern Brown County. It may be moving a little further east-southeast now. Still moving towards Cross Plains, Cross Cut, Rising Star. Those of you on Highway 36 from Cross Plains east to Rising Star, and frankly all the way down to Comanche, may have an issue with this storm in the next 2 hours. This thunderstorm, the potential for large hail, damaging winds, and at times a tornado risk. The higher threat of tornadoes are probably, for at least now, going to be with these storms closer to the Red River into Oklahoma. Low-level wind shear is still on the weak side. Main threats for now continue to be very large hail, damaging winds, and yes, at times spin-up tornadoes. As we get past 6 o'clock, towards 8 o'clock, low-level wind shear intensity is going to triple. Cloud bases are going to lower as we start to cool things off. The way cloud base height works is cloud bases are a little high right now. But as we get past the peak time of heating, we get closer to sunset, surface temperatures start to cool off a few degrees, the cloud bases are going to lower. Our dew point depressions are going to lower. The difference between the surface temperature and the surface dew point has a direct correlation to the cloud height. As those cloud heights lower, the low-level wind shear gets very strong. We're going to see the threat of tornadoes increase, including the potential for a storm tornado. So these may be relatively long-lived supercells capable of big hail, big wind, and at times a tornado threat. Not all of these storms are going to be producing tornadoes, and I'm not suggesting we're going to have tornadoes down the entire time over the next several hours with these storms, but there's concern that we could have multiple cyclic tornadic cycles, cyclic tornado cycles, whatever. I'm not that smart. I'm not a thesaurus today. More caffeine for Baldy. But again, that is the general expectation here. Storm chaser Chelsea Burnett is located on the storm near approaching Cross Plains. She's going to be moving towards Cross Plains, and we'll get a view of that storm here from her shortly. Really going to have to keep an eye on the storm northeast of Olney as well.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Cotton and Tillman County in Oklahoma, Clay, and Wichita County in Texas.
Now, I wouldn't be totally surprised if these tornado warnings went away for a little while. Again, low-level wind shear is still on the modest side. These are still somewhat high-base storms, and the hail threat should be the primary issue over the next couple of hours, but eventually we're going to see an uptick in the tornado threat. Tornado watch remains in effect for western North Texas, northwest Texas, and the Big Country through the early evening hours. But we'll probably see a tornado watch expanded towards the DFW Metroplex after dinner time. Those of you across southern half of Texas, Hill Country, Central Texas, you may not have much to deal with or anything. Again, your big maker right now seems to be the thunderstorm west of Cross Plains. And for what it's worth, we may have additional storms still develop. I mean, it's still early in the day. It's only 4:30. These storms got going pretty early. but the worst of the tornado threat probably going to be after 8 p.m. I'm going to look at some short-term data here. So here's what, let's do this for now. It's 4:33. I'm going to take a 7-minute break. We're going to let you listen to some music. I'm going to look at some data, come back here at 4:40 with continuing severe weather coverage, talk about what we expect this evening. So we'll be back here in about 7 minutes or sooner if necessary. You can track these storms, by the way, with the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. Just search for Texas Storm Chasers in the mobile app store. Interactive weather radars, live severe weather coverage, storm chasing video, and more. All right, we'll be back here in 6 minutes. right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy in Chief David Reimer. Chelsea Burnett, Storm Chaser Chelsea Burnett, is located near Cross Plains, Texas. She's monitoring a supercell in the southeastern Big Country, moving into northern Brown County. We'll go ahead and take a look at this. Whoops. Now, couple notes. The severe weather threat for the DFW Metroplex, specifically Wise County, Denton County, Tarrant County, Parker County, will increase after 6 p.m. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing all modes of severe weather may be in Wise County, Parker County, Denton County, Tarrant County by 6 p.m. That storm may be approaching DFW International Airport by 6:45 p.m. and it could be quite intense. This is your early heads up. This is going to be one of those magical moments where, in the land of time travel, I'm being sarcastic, but if we, have to make a video about this in the weeks ahead, this will be the moment where I go back, cut that part of the video I just said. This will be near DFW Airport at 6:45 and magically transplant it with whatever happens. So that's a 2-hour heads up. Parts of the Metroplex, you're probably going to have a problem with this thunderstorm southeast of Archer City, perhaps, or these storms trying to develop northwest of Jack County. At least that is what some of the short-range data suggests. Let's talk about what's going on right now over the last hour. Severe thunderstorm that did produce a couple of brief tornadoes back in portions of northern Reynolds County, northwestern Coleman County. Not tornado warned anymore, is moving southeast towards northeastern Coleman County, northern Brown County. This storm probably about to bring some hail to Cross Plains. That is where Storm Chaser Chelsea Burnett is located. You can see some storm structure on her stream. And we'll be keeping a close eye on that for sure. But again, it's certainly possible this storm tries to spin up again soon and may require a new tornado warning. Ignore me while I do some configuration. Yes, I know you see a blank screen, but you won't see it now. So again, data's coming in and out. That's okay. You can see she's got a view of the base of the thunderstorm. Again, that's down by Crosscut, southwest of Cross Plains. And that is Storm Chaser Chelsea Burnett. And she's keeping a close eye on that storm. All right, we're going to have a new tornado warning for Archer County and Clay County, so computer's about to make a bunch of obnoxious noises. Stand by.
A new tornado warning has been issued for Archer and Clay County in Texas.
All right, this will be a tornado warning. This is going to be for portions of Clay and Archer counties. This tornado warning will include the city of Archer City, Windthorst, Scotland. It does not at this time include Henrietta to Bellevue on 287. But again, this is a new tornado warning until 5:30 p.m. for southern Archer, southern Clay counties. We'll switch over to the high-resolution radar, show you what we've got. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado now moving more to the northeast. This thunderstorm is located 7 miles southwest of Archer City, moving northeast at 35 miles an hour. The potential of a golf ball size hail in addition to a tornado. So again, this thunderstorm, 7 miles southwest of Archer City, is now moving from now more towards the northeast, right towards Windthorst. Those of you in Windthorst, down back west towards Archer City, should be prepared. And eventually this storm may turn southeast again. If it does, the threat for areas northwest of the DFW Metroplex will increase. That will include a tornado threat Destructive hail. Baseball, softball, CD, DVD size. Damaging winds. Could be setting up for a particularly dangerous situation if that were to transpire. For now, a tornado warning is now in effect through 5:30 p.m. Southern Clay, Southern Archer counties. This does include Archer City, Scotland, Windthorst. This includes Highway 281 from Scotland down to north of Loving. This includes Highway 79 around Archer City. This includes Highway 25 from Archer City to Windthorst. We've got a storm producing hail just southeast of Seymour, moving northeast towards Holiday. Could be some large hail with that. Farther south, and this is where storm chaser Chelsea Burnett is located. This storm, located near Cross Plains, also looking organized. The potential for large hail, damaging winds, nasty size hail, and at times the potential for a tornado. You can see Chelsea's got a view of something on this storm. And she is located southwest of Cross Plains. This storm is moving east-southeast towards Cross Plains. You can see some scary-looking clouds right there. In fact, we'll switch over to her feed very quickly. Let me readjust this size so you know it actually fits the video screen. Again, you can see that. That's a pretty suspicious looking feature right there. We can't tell if it is, strongly rotating or not. But it is definitely something we're going to be watching for over the next several minutes. And again, this is located near Cross Plains, Texas, where a severe thunderstorm warning is in effect. This thunderstorm is moving to the southeast, east-southeast, with the potential for quarter to golf ball size hail, damaging straight line winds, and at times some indications of a circulation. We'll keep an eye on it. The only tornado warning we have right now is this thunderstorm located south of Archer City, moving towards Windthorst. This thunderstorm capable of producing golf ball size hail, damaging straight line winds, heavy rainfall, and perhaps a tornado. It does not have the most visually appealing structure on the radar right now, and that's a good thing, but it is still a well-organized supercell, and low-level wind shear values will be increasing as we go into the dinner time hours. So we're going to have to keep a close eye on it. We'll switch back over to the radar that lets me show you an animation for movement. And I'll just do the last hour. And again, you can see these storms are progressing from mostly the west to the east. Some are moving more northeast, some are moving more east-southeast. And again, there are indications that the storm near Archer City may try to start moving farther to the east, southeast. And if that occurs, the threat of tornadic supercell behavior will increase for portions of Montague, Young, Wise, Denton counties by 7 p.m. If this storm turns southeast, it will be approaching Interstate 35W by 6:30 to 7 p.m. If it continues on its present track, this will be an issue for Clay County, Montague County, Cook County. But we're also going to have to watch the storm behind it, back southeast to Seymour. That one is trying to become much more organized pretty quickly here. And that may also become an issue. We've got storms near Iowa Park to Burke Burnett. Those could have small hail, gusty winds, heavy rainfall. And then we've got the supercell storm chaser Chelsea Burnett's on, and no data land at this point. The feet will come back. Near Cross Plains, that storm's moving southeast. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a 10-minute break. I'm going to leave this feed up. I'll get Chelsea's feed over on the BRB screen, and we'll be back here at 5 o'clock with another severe weather update sooner if necessary. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. I'm Texas Storm Chasers. Hi, Baldy and Chief David Reimer. We have a new tornado warning, and this one has the potential to be a problem. This is going to be that new storm we were talking about near Seymour. Unfortunately, the way this one's moving, this one could pose an issue. This tornado warning does technically include the city of Maybell, Dundee, Menkins, Cadane Corner, and Holiday, southwest of Wichita Falls, and on its present track, it's going to ride up towards Wichita Falls. So, the potential for issues on the rise. Let's switch back over to the high-res radar. Two tornado warnings up here. One, northeast to Seymour, south of the 283-82 split. Second, approaching Windthorst on Highway 25. Windthorst storm moving east. The Seymour storm moving up towards Wichita Falls is moving northeast. Both storms now quite established as supercells. Large hail, damaging winds, a potential for tornadoes. Again, this storm moving up towards Holiday. We'll put a storm track on it. At its present course, this storm will be in Holiday by 5:30. The city of Wichita Falls by 5:45. Is currently capable of producing a tornado.
Storm warning has been issued for Archer, Clay, and Wichita County in Texas.
Large hail and damaging winds. So those of you from Cadane Corner to Holiday to Menkins to Dundee, back southwest to Maybell, you need to enact your tornado safety precautions. Out of the lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Hard sole shoes, tennis shoes, something, boots, helmet. And again, this storm's moving northeast at 40 miles an hour towards Holiday, right up 82 and 277 towards, Wichita Falls in southern Wichita County. Farther south, severe thunderstorm capable of producing large hail, damaging straight line winds. That's going to be an issue for Cross Plains to Rising Star on Highway 36. We could have quarter to golf ball size hail, damaging winds, heavy rainfall. A little bit of a circulation showing up southwest of Cross Plains right now by about 5 miles. We'll keep an eye on that. Storm chaser Chelsea Burnett is down there. Then up here in northwest Texas, again, severe storm, Archer City to Windthorst. Potential for golf ball size hail, 60 to 70 mile an hour winds, possibility of a spin up tornado. More concerned about this storm northeast of Seymour. This is going to be a circulation that is showing some pretty impressive velocity datas. 8 miles northeast of Seymour, 5 miles southeast of Maybell, 20 miles southwest of Menkins, 23 miles southwest of Holiday. And this storm is moving northeast at 40 miles an hour, right up 277 and 82 towards the city of Wichita Falls. For what it's worth, in Iowa Park, this would be there by 5:45 to 5:50. This storm is currently capable of producing golf ball size hail, damaging winds, and a tornado. We have winds moving away from the radar at moving. That doesn't make sense. Why is it saying incoming? Whatever, I don't really care. We got winds moving. Oh, there's the latest scan. You can see it even more defined.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Archer, Baylor, and Wichita County in Texas.
Winds moving towards the radar at about 40. Winds moving away at about 20 to 30. So about 60 to 70 mile an hour gate-to-gate shear with that. Pretty well-defined supercellular structure. And same story goes with this storm from Archer City to Windthorst. We still have somewhat weak low-level wind shear, but it's starting to strengthen. And we're going to have to keep an eye on both, as they could produce tornadoes, large hail, damaging winds. We got a supercell on the Red River north of Burke Burnett, also showing some indications of at least modest rotation. That'll be moving northeast towards Randallett up on Highway 70 in southern portions of Cotton County, Oklahoma. That eventually may approach Waurika up to Duncan. All right, let's put, and then we've got this storm back down here. Wee, 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 wee. This is going to be in portions of southeastern Callahan, northern Brown, southwestern Eastland County. This storm seems to be moving more east-northeast. I don't think it's moving at 40 miles an hour. Maybe closer to 20 to 30, but it could bring hail to Cross Plains. We just had a reported tennis ball size hail southwest of Cross Plains on the Coleman-Callahan County line on FM 206. This storm could also bring hail to Highway 36, Cross Plains to Pioneer to Rising Star into southern portions of Eastland County, southeastern Callahan County. This storm is not currently tornadic, but we'll keep an eye on it. Otherwise, up in Oklahoma, because, well, we'll keep an eye on it. Severe storm northeast of Burke Burnett, moving towards, again, Redlet.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Hemphill and Lipscomb County in Texas.
We got some storms in west central Oklahoma, and we've got supercells firing in the far northeastern panhandle southeast of Higgins, Texas, well northeast of Canadian in the Burn Scar, moving up towards Arnett and Gage, Oklahoma. That will not be a Texas issue. You might have a storm trying to go up near Hollis again as well. So again, back to the radar we go. Where we'll end up, who knows? Over the last 2 hours, you can see we have had thunderstorms develop. Most of these storms are moving off to the east or northeast at 30 to 40 miles per hour, with the potential of quarter to golf ball to tennis ball size hail, localized damaging winds, and yes, at times, these have been producing brief tornadoes. The tornado threat may increase as we continue into the early evening hours past dinner time and towards, well, 8 to 9 o'clock. We'll see. But again, possible circulation now, capable of producing a spin-up tornado about 5 miles east of Maybell at Highway 183 and 82, moving northeast towards Dundee, Mankins, Holiday, Cadane Corner. A tornado warning is in effect until 5:45 p.m. The possibility of large hail, damaging winds, and perhaps a tornado. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing large hail, damaging winds, perhaps a spin-up tornado from Scotland to Windthorst, just northeast of Archer City now. That storm has been moving more northeast than east or southeast, so we'll have to keep an eye out in Clay County. This storm could have golf ball size hail, wind gusts over 60 miles per hour. Watching a storm north of Burke Burnett as well. That's moving north of the Red River into Cotton County, Oklahoma, towards Randlet. That eventually may move towards Temple, Oklahoma. But if this storm tries to turn right, it could ride the Red River and potentially be an issue for areas north of Petrolia to north of Byers, Texas, on Highway 79.
Texas local storm report from 10 miles west of Cross Plains in Callahan County, Texas. Hail magnitude measured 2.50 inches. Reported by Train Spotter.
We had a possible tornado at 5:03 p.m. southwest of Windthorst. That would be the eastern tornado warning storm, now east of Archer City. Had a report of a funnel cloud, maybe a quick spin up tornado with that. Also watching the storm back farther west, east of Maybell, moving up towards Dundee and Mankins. I'll be honest, neither of these storms looks particularly super organized right now in the rotation department. Not a lot of low-level defined organization with either of these, but they keep trying to tighten up and organize. We've had some funnel clouds, maybe some brief tornadoes with these, but nothing that has stayed organized particularly long, more than a few minutes, which is good. But we're going to have to keep an eye on it. And we shall keep an eye on it. Because that is what the Baldy-in-Chief does. Starting to see some organizational increase with the storm east of Archer City near Windthorst. That storm is feeling the effects of the storms farther west. Yeah, sorry, my anger typing. I don't have my typical filter stuff on. So again, those of you in Windthorst to Scotland, you need to be in a safe place. That'll be the lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. We have storm chasers in this area reporting increasing low-level rotation, and a tornado may be imminent. And you can see that hook echo starting to wrap back around. I have to hit the backspace button a lot if it makes anybody feel better. Okay, I'm going to mess with some of these. All right, real quick, this is a photo we just got from storm chaser Alex Bartholomew. This is going to be from the Windthorst storm. I know I'm not saying it right, oh well, but you can see well-defined low-level wall cloud here, a bit of a nub under that on the right side. We've gotten reports of at least one spin-up tornado in the last several minutes out of this area. So again, this storm, those of you in Windthorst need to be in a safe place now. This thing's spinning up quick. Switch back over to the velocity mode and the radar. Again, those of you in Windthorst, you better be in a safe place. The intersection of Highway 281 and Highway 25. This is going to be in southern or eastern portions of Archer County. This is not an issue for Archer City. This storm's moving more east-northeast again. This is going to be moving into southwestern Clay County. And again, those of you in Windthorst on Highway 281, east of Archer City, south of Scotland, this is going to be well northeast of Olney, need to be in a safe place. Same thing goes if you're southwest of Henrietta, west of Highway 148 in southwestern Clay County. Lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. We've got a hook echo starting to wrap around here. What I think's happening is these storms farther to the west likely are going to contribute to some localized enhancement at a low-level shear, and that is going to help this thing spin up into a tornado. We've already had a couple in the last few minutes, it looks like. And again, those of you in Windthorst, Highway 281, Highway 25 need to be in a safe place. Lowest floor, center room, away from windows.
Thunderstorm warning has been issued for Cotton County in Oklahoma.
Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Storm farther west near Dundee, showing some minor rotation with it as well. This storm, a little bit of weak rotation around Highway 82 on the Archer-Baylor County line, just southwest of Dundee, southwest of Mankins. That storm's moving northeast towards Wichita Falls. Could have large hail.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Comanche and Eastland County in Texas.
Damaging winds moving into Iowa Park, Wichita Falls from Holiday the next several minutes. Most likely issue for a tornado in the short term right around Windthorst. You can see very strong velocity data. We've got winds moving towards the radar at about 60 to 70 miles an hour. Winds moving away about 30. We've got winds of about 110 miles an hour. So again, those of you in Windthorst, potential for a tornado to be down now at near the intersection of Highway 281 and Highway 25. This is east of Archer City in eastern Archer County, moving east-northeast towards southwestern portions of Clay County. This storm could also have tennis ball to baseball size hail, damaging straight line winds, and the potential of a tornado. Be in a safe place. And again, this is what it looked like just moments ago from storm chaser Alex Bartholomew. He's in Windthorst. This was his view moments ago. Tornado reported just moments ago. So again, Alex Bartholomew, storm chaser in Windthorst, just reported we had a brief tornado down. The storm again, capable of putting another tornado down at any time. So we're getting brief tornado touchdowns.
A new tornado warning has been issued for Clay County in Texas.
All right, this is going to be an extension of this tornado warning. This is going to run east to Bellevue on Highway 287. Easy way to put that. Small town between Bowie and Henrietta. Pretty cool water tower. Also a pretty nasty speed trap on 287. So this will be a tornado warning southeast of Henrietta, northwest of Bowie.
David, I have a multi-vortex tornado on the ground near Windthorst, Texas. Try to get some images to you, but there have been some sporadic vortices on the ground and debris.
All right, so we've got a tornado down now doing at least some damage near Windthorst. This is in southern Clay County. So we've got a multi-vortex tornado in progress now near Windthorst, capable of producing at least some damage. And that was from storm chaser Alex Bartholomew near the intersection of 281 and 25. This storm will be moving east at about 25 to 35 miles an hour, moving towards Bellevue, Blue Grove, Southern Lake Arrowhead, Vashiti, and Joy. This is a tornado warning capable of, well, with a storm now, with a history of producing tornadoes in the last several minutes. You can see we have a very tight circulation here. It's going to be winds moving towards the radar at about 70 miles an hour, winds moving away probably at about 30 to 40. So we're up to 110, 120 mile an hour gate-to-gate shear. Texas Storm Chasers Alex Bartholomew reporting a tornado in progress with this thunderstorm in the last few minutes. This will be moving east towards the community of Bellevue. So it'll also be moving towards Highway 287. We would advise at this point no travel on Highway 287 between Henrietta and Bowie, as a dangerous thunderstorm capable and currently producing a tornado near Windthorst is going to be moving east at about 35 miles per hour. And again, this is a confirmed tornado now with this thunderstorm moving east at 35 miles an hour towards Bellevue. This tornado warning also includes places like Blue Grove, Southern Lake Arrowhead, Vashiti, and Joy. This will be a confirmed tornado now near Windthorst, moving east at 35 miles an hour. No travel on Highway 148 between Highway 287 down to the Jack County line north of Jacksboro. We'd advise no travel now on Highway 287. Did I say 148 between Henrietta and Jack County line? Well, if not, I just did. No travel recommended on Highway 287 between the city of Bowie and Henrietta as this thunderstorm with a confirmed tornado moves from west to east at 35 miles per hour. We have a thunderstorm moving northeast into the city of Wichita. This storm does not look like it really has anything spinny doom right now, but it will have large hail, damaging winds, heavy rainfall. So again, that'll be the thunderstorm currently moving into Iowa Park, Wichita Falls, northeast at about 40 miles an hour. There could be golf ball size hail or larger, damaging winds, heavy rain that could cause some localized flooding. Farther south, we have a severe thunderstorm moving more to the, it looks like, yeah, this thing's moving more to the east-northeast too. I'm going to reset this program real quick. Further south, we have a severe thunderstorm. Congrats, you get to listen to me for a second. All right, so this is going to be a confirmed tornado just east of Windthorst, moving into southern portions of Clay County towards Bellevue. We've got a severe thunderstorm.
Texas local storm report from 3 miles southwest of Cross Plains in Callahan County, Texas. Hail magnitude estimated 1.00 inch. Reported by public. Additional information, report from Ving, Quarter.
All right, here's another report from storm chaser Alex Bartholomew.
David, I have what looks to be a significant tornado coming down. Definitely significant.
Okay, we're going to get that picture on right now. This is going to be the storm up near Windthorst. Here's a quick radar image look. We'll switch over to the cam. I'm going to get the picture from Alex real quick. So again, this was moments ago near Windthorst. You can see cone tornado coming down there. This storm moving east, out and away from Windthorst. This is going to be moving towards Bellevue at about 35 miles an hour. So again, this is now a confirmed tornado. Could be a strong tornado just northeast of Windthorst, moving east at 35 miles an hour. That's a look from Alex Bartholomew. From Windthorst, looking off to the east, I assume. So again, that's the visual. Big tornado now in progress just east of Windthorst. We'll go back to the radar. You can see very strong velocities now. This is going to be just east of Windthorst. We got winds of about 80 moving towards the radar, about 50 moving away. 130 mile an hour gate to gate shear. This is going to be in rural portions of southern Clay County. I'll go ahead and get some visuals for you. All right, we just got another image from Alex Bartholomew. This is now just east of Windthorst. Facebook really does not make it easy for me to get these pictures on here efficiently. Here's tornadoes. You can see fully condensed tornado now just east of Windthorst. This is from storm chaser Alex Bartholomew, becoming a large tornado now. This is going to be moving away from Windthorst. This is going to be moving over Shady Lane, Conrady Road, Wittenheimer Road. This is going to be moving east-northeast over rural portions of southern Clay County, scaling roads. So again, we've got a large tornado in progress now just east of Windthorst. This is going to be west of Bellevue and Highway 287 in southeastern Clay County. This is going to be moving east towards Bellevue on Highway 287, southeast of Henrietta, moving east towards Bellevue. No travel is recommended on Highway 287 between Bowie and Henrietta. Again, we do have a confirmed tornado in progress with this thunderstorm moving east towards Bellevue at 35 miles an hour. Here's the which way the wind's blowing mode. You can see pretty impressive low-level velocity signature. Let me go ahead and put some roads on here. Try to give y'all at least a couple references out here. And again, this is over rural portions of southern Clay County. You can see that update just came in. This is going to be east of 281 now, east of Windthorst, west of 148, moving east-northeast, 35 miles an hour. Velocity signature starting to weaken a bit. Tornado warning southwest of Wichita Falls has been allowed to expire. Wichita Falls, you're getting some nasty rain. You're getting some nasty hail, wind, but no tornado. Tornado is ongoing with the storm east of Windthorst. We've got a supercell down near Cross Plains moving towards Eastland County. That could have some real big hail with it. We'll talk about that in just a minute. We need to focus on the storm that has a tornado down with it right now. And that'll be this storm east of Windthorst, moving east-northeast towards Dick Worsham and Bellevue on Highway 287. The reflectivity structure, the hook, is becoming more defined with this again. So, again, we have a confirmed tornado from storm chasers Alex Bartholomew and Jenny Brown. This is what the tornado looked like just moments ago from storm chaser Alex Bartholomew. This is his view. That was from Windthorst. And we'll take a quick look. This is from storm chaser Jenny Brown looking from Windthorst off to the east, I assume. And again, that's going to be your tornado there, northeast of Windthorst. So again, this thunderstorm has produced tornadoes over the last several minutes. And this is going to be moving east towards Bellevue, Dick Worsham. We'd advise no travel over the next 45 minutes on Highway 287 between the city of Bowie and the city of Henrietta. If you know anyone traveling out here this afternoon, I'd give them a ring, let them know, hey, there's a tornado down about 20 miles west of 287, moving east at 40 miles an hour towards 287. Between the cities of Henrietta and Bowie is where we'd advise no travel. Those of you in Dick Worsham, Bellevue, all the way back southwest to Scotland and Windthorst need to be in a safe place. That'll be the lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Hard sole shoes and a helmet. All right, let's go back down, take a look at the storm in Eastland County.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Callahan County in Texas.
You can see this thunderstorm north of Cross Plains starting to look a little more organized again. It's undergone a Windthorst, Whoops, it's undergone reorganization and does seem to be moving more to the east-northeast again, or east at 30. So again, circulation northwest across plains by maybe 3 miles, moving due east at 20 to 30 miles an hour. Could be an issue for areas along the north at 36, Rising Star, but eventually this could be in the community of De Leon by 6:30 p.m., Gorman, 6:30 p.m., and again, the potential for large hail, damaging winds, and we may see the threat of a tornado also increase with this storm over the next hour. We're going to have to carefully monitor it. Get myself set up here. This storm also has a history of producing tennis ball size hail, damaging straight line winds, all right. Let's see if we can't show another image from near Windthorst. It's actually going to be a video. Give me just a second. I'm just gonna. So you can see that was a pretty big tornado near Windthorst. This is from storm chaser Alex Bartholomew. This is going to be nice lightning strike. Looking from west to east. And again, this was a few minutes ago near Windthorst. And this was from storm chaser Alex Bartholomew. We have reports now this storm, the tornado has lifted, but again, this could put another tornado down at any time. So again, thank you to storm chaser Alex Bartholomew for that. And again, so we're watching two storms of interest now. One storm just north of Cross Plains that is trying to intensify with a circulation very near Cross Plains. I hate to say it, but if there's a circulation trying to come down right now, it would be right over Cross Plains. This is going to be moving east-northeast right towards Rising Star on Highway 36. And again, there is a bit of a circulation here. We're going to have to watch it carefully. The storm's definitely becoming more organized. We have storm chaser Chelsea Burnett on this storm. We have storm chasers Jenny Brown and Alex Bartholomew on the storm up here in Clay County. Texas storm chasers dominating, keep you informed. And again, this storm has a history of tornadoes. This storm could still have a tornado down, moving east towards Mobley Lane, Scaling Road, Whitaker Road, South Myers Road, and eventually this will cross Highway 148. This is going to cross Highway 148 probably about 8 to 10 miles south of 287 near West Hammond Road to Lower Slobovia Road, up to North Duggar Road, Secret Springs Road, and Highway 148, 8 to 10 miles south of the city of Henrietta. And again, this thing's wound up tighter than it ticks behind. This thing's got attitude. So again, this is going to be a tornado about, let's say, about 6 miles northeast of Windthorst, 13 miles southwest of Henrietta, 17 miles west of Bellevue, moving east at 35 miles an hour, moving towards Bellevue and Dickwursham. This should stay south of Henrietta. Henrietta may get the hail. So again, those of you south of Henrietta, southeast 287 to Dickwursham and Bellevue, you need to be in a safe place. That'll be the lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. We've got storms, Electra, Iowa Park to Wichita Falls to Burke Burnett, moving northeast. Potential for large hail, damaging straight line winds. No tornado with that activity. All right, so again, we've got a probable tornado in progress now, southern Clay County. That storm is going to be moving towards Bellevue at about 30 miles an hour. This will cross Highway 148, 8 to 10 miles south of Henrietta. This will cross Highway 287, Bellevue, over to Dick Worsham in the next 30 to 45 minutes. Tornado likely continues and could continue for a while yet. If this thing turns north, it could be an issue for the city of Henrietta. Regardless, y'all need to be in a safe place. Lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Down here near Cross Plains, this storm chaser Chelsea Burnett reports a funnel cloud with this. Yeah, this thing's tightening up. Those of you in Cross Plains to Rising Star, tornado developing now. Very near or just east of Cross Plains, you can see a tornado warning with that now. Those of you on Highway 36, Rising Star back to Cross Plains, need to move to a safe place. Lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Again, this will be a tornado warning for southeastern portions of Callahan County.
A new tornado warning has been issued for Callahan County in Texas.
And we'll have a tornado warning for Eastland County momentarily. We're live streaming coverage on standby for a report from the Windthorst Bellevue storm from Alex.
My east option was blocked, so I'm having to go up and around. So I'm not gonna be able to have a visual for quite some time, unfortunately.
All right, that happens while storm chasing. So again, storm chaser Chelsea Burnett reporting a funnel cloud with this storm near Cross Plains. You can see well-defined hook echo with that and circulation. That'll be moving into southwestern portions of Eastland County, moving towards Rising Star generally. That'll be the tornado warning for Eastland County.
A new tornado warning has been issued for Eastland County in Texas.
Okay, it's going to be a tornado warning that does include Pioneer, Branton, Ronnie, Carbon to Gorman. This will be a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. It could have a tornado with it. We've got a live stream from Chelsea Burnett. She's in Cross Plains. We're going to keep a very close eye on her stream. But again, this will now be a tornado warning for a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. 2 miles east of Cross Plains, moving east-northeast at about 30 miles an hour. This storm is moving towards Romney, Branton, Rising Star on 183, Carbon out to Gorman on Highway 6. We'd advise no travel in these areas. Again, this is a well-defined supercell now, just like the storm farther north. Both these sons of a guns could have tornadoes at any point.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Clay County in Texas.
And again, we're focusing on the most intense storms. We notice new supercells developing northern Coleman County. That could become a problem. Tornadic supercell approaching Bellevue in the next 20 to 30 minutes on 287 in Clay County. That thunderstorm has the potential of producing a large tornado. Storm from just east of Cross Plains moving into Eastland County. This could put a large tornado down at any time. We're going to keep a very close eye on both of these thunderstorms as they continue their journeys. Henrietta, the potential for golf ball to tennis ball size hail. Potential for tennis ball to baseball size hail with this storm northeast of Cross Plains. All right, Chelsea's trying to get us a view here. We'll switch back to the full screen version, see if I just have it cropped out. You can see she's focusing on the rapid cloud movement. We'll keep an eye on that. So again, possible tornado now 2 miles northeast of Cross Plains, crossing over County Road 376 into Eastland County. The storm will be crossing over County Road 223, 239, 254, 227, County Road 210, County Road 207, County Road 202. There's Highway 183. This storm moving east, east-northeast at about 30 miles an hour. Those of you from Rising Star up to Branton to Romney on Highway 183 need to be in a safe place. Those of you on Highway 6 from the community of Carbon down to Gorman need to be in a safe place. This tornado should stay south of Interstate 20, south of Eastland, south of Cisco, though some hail risk may be possible with y'all there. So again, Supercell 1, watching a new supercell develop in northern Coleman County. We'll keep a close eye on that in the event it becomes an issue. Back up into portions of northwest Texas, a thunderstorm now with a history of producing multiple tornadoes is in southern Clay County, moving east towards Highway 148, 6 to 10 miles south of Henrietta. This will cross over Mobley Road right now, moving towards Whittaker Road, and eventually will cross over Highway 148 south of Henrietta. This is about 5 miles west of Blue Grove, moving east towards Highway 148, supposedly a confirmed tornado once again. Back to the which way the wind's blowing mode, and yeah, you can see that. We got winds in the blue and green moving towards the radar in Frederick at about 60 miles an hour. We have winds moving away from the radar at about 30, so about 80 mile an hour gate-to-gate shear. Very well-defined hook echo here on the radar. Hello, dog. Thank you for joining us. And again, that storm's moving east, northeast at 30. The radar's trying to keeps trying to take this thing north, but that's not going to happen. We probably have a tornado down right now, just northeast of Cross Plains. We're going to have to go back to that. That could be a strong one trying to get going. So again, Bellevue, Dick Worsham, Highway 287 being a safe place all the way back to Blue Grove on Highway 148. We advise no travel on 287 around, well, pretty much from Henrietta all the way down to Bowie in Clay County. This is the storm currently northeast of Cross Plains. You can see this thing has a couple of tighter and a ticks behind as well. We got winds moving away from the radar at about 60 miles an hour. We've got winds moving towards the radar at about 30 to 40, 100 mile an hour gate-to-gate couplet with that. Pretty close to the radar. The radar is located right up here north of Putnam, so we're getting a pretty good low-level sweep at this.
Texas local storm report from 1 mile north.
And there it is.
Plains in Callahan County.
Yeah, it's a tornado probably right there. That's going to be a tornado in progress northeast of Cross Plains from storm chaser Chelsea Burnett. Let's go to that. At least a funnel, but that probably has a ground circulation. Stand by. There you go. You can see that just because you don't have full condensate funnel down doesn't mean that's not a tornado, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be a tornado. Pretty clear, well-defined laminar funnel with pretty good rotation, at least a funnel over halfway down. I'm willing to bet if we had a visual of the ground from her location, we'd be able to see a ground circulation. So, again, we're going to go ahead and say this is a tornado in progress now, about 3 to 4 miles northeast of Cross Plains. This is going to be moving towards towards Highway 183, north of Rising Star, moving towards Branton and Romney. So again, we have what is a tornado down now, northeast of Rising Star, northeast of Cross Plains, northwest of Rising Star. That's going to be moving towards Branton and Romney. This is from storm chaser Chelsea Burnett. Again, just because you can't see the condensate funnel all the way to the surface does not mean we don't have a tornado here. This is a pretty good rotation. Radar couplet is gate to gate. So again, I'll show you the circulation on radar. Again, this thing's tighter to ticks behind. That is probably a tornado in progress now. Could be a fairly large tornado trying to develop. And again, just because you don't have a condensate funnel doesn't mean we don't have a tornado all the way down. Again, you can see that's a fairly large cone funnel. Good rotation with that, so we could have a tornado in progress on County Road 376 coming up to County Road 223, about 4 to 5 miles northeast of Cross Plains. Again, you can see that's a pretty impressive looking circulation. Chelsea Burnett is reporting that as a tornado. New circulation starting to form to its east. So again, you can see how that is real close to the ground here. That is probably a tornado. We just don't have a ground or a view of the ground to confirm a dust circulation. But again, you can see how that has that impressive funnel look. You can see, for all intent and purposes, that's over 3/4 of the way to the ground. So again, storm chaser Chelsea Burnett has a probable tornado in progress now, just northeast of Cross Plains. This is going to be moving northeast towards Branton, Romney, and then we may have a new circulation starting to develop a bit further southeast now. County Road 254 approaching County Road 210. This would be the new circulation with cyclic processes occurring. So again, tornado number 1 that Chelsea has a view of there, that's going to be on the ground approaching County Road 223 from County Road 376. And yeah, that's a tornado down. There's no doubt about that. Large tornado in progress now northeast of Cross Plains in Eastland County, moving towards Romney and Branton. As this circulation starts to occlude, we're going to need to see if it takes a turn to the north. And then new circulation forming further southeast towards Rising Star. But again, this is going to be a tornado in progress. Again, there you go. Full condensate to the ground. Tornado in progress now, 5 to 6 miles northeast of Cross Plains. You can see rapid to violent rotation. You can see the bird is enjoying the view. And again, that's going to be a tornado now down from storm chaser Chelsea Burnett, northeast of Cross Plains by about 5 to 6 miles. That's going to be moving northeast at about 30 miles an hour. So again, we've got a tornado in progress now. This is going to be about 6 miles northeast of Cross Plains. This is going to be near County Road 223, just north of County Road 276. Almost a bit of a horizontal vortex there. That was an interesting look. We're going to keep looking at that. I just want to zoom in and show you where this is in relation to some of these communities. So again, Cross Plains down to the southwest. You can see Hook, tornado near County Road 223, north of County Road 376. The which way the wind's blowing mode, you can see velocity is quite strong now. We have winds moving towards the radar at 60, winds moving away at 50. We have a tornado in progress now with this thunderstorm from storm chaser Chelsea Burnett. She's located northeast of Cross Plains. This tornado would be 5 to 6 miles northeast of Cross Plains. You can see it's going behind a tree right now, but we do have a new circulation starting to develop closer to Rising Star. That could be our next tornado that develops in the next 15 minutes. So again, tornado 1 now down 6 miles northeast of Cross Plains, northwest of Rising Star. Second possible tornado trying to develop now near County Road 252 and County Road 226. That is not going to be too far northwest of Rising Star, only by 2 to 3 miles. So cone tornado in progress, kind of a stovepipe tornado now in progress. 6 miles northeast of Cross Plains, approaching County Road 223, north of County Road 376. Tornado in progress near that in southern Eastland County. Second possible tornado developing 3 miles northwest of Rising Star. We're going to keep an eye on that. We're going to have it on that, but we need to also focus on this other storm, which has a history of producing tornadoes back up in Clay County. So again, Chelsea has tornado with storm in Eastland County. That tornado is going to start weakening and occluding out shortly. We're going to have a new tornado develop closer to Highway 183 near Branton to Rising Star in the next few minutes. Tornado possibly developing near FM 148 up in Clay County. This is going to be south of Henrietta by 8 to 10 miles, moving towards Bellevue and Dick Worsham. This storm could have a tornado with it again at any time. It has a history of producing tornadoes, and will continue to have the threat of producing tornadoes as it moves east towards Highway 287. Again, we don't want anybody on 287 right now between Henrietta and the city of Bowie. Those of you in Bellevue up to Dick Worsham, southwest of Ringgold in Clay County, need to be on the watch for this and be in a safe place. Those of you in western Montague County, Ringgold, Belcherville, Nakona, Stoneburg, all the way maybe to St. Joe over the next hour, you may be under the threat of this thunderstorm as it moves farther to the east. Again, Chelsea still has a visual of this tornado back in Eastland County. Chelsea is located near Cross Plains, and this storm is moving northeast.
Storm report from 6 miles west of Rising Star in Eastland County, Texas. Tornado reported by Train Spotter. Additional information. Tornado reported by Train Spotter 6W of Rising Star.
All right, so again, we've got a confirmed tornado about 6 northeast across Plains, 16 south of Cisco, moving northeast to 20. That tornado may start to occlude or weaken soon, and we may see a new tornado develop closer to Rising Star. Let me show you what I'm talking about here real quick. This is the ongoing tornado we just showed you. You can see it's still there, starting to narrow. So again, tornado in progress, County Road 223, County Road 376 from storm chaser Chelsea Burnett. And a new possible tornado developing closer to Rising Star now with a new circulation near County Road 252. That'll be at near Highway 183, very near Rising Star up to Branton the next few minutes. So again, you can see both circulations. This storm moving east at 25.
Additional information. Law enforcement reported a brief tornado touching down right on the Callahan/Eastland County line.
Understood. And again, this is going to be Chelsea Burnett's live stream. You can see tornadoes still in progress. You can see how the tornado is starting to narrow, but check out the violent motion. This thing's spinning like a top, like a ballerina bringing their arms in. When that occurs in the dwindling process of a tornado's life cycle, the tornado can actually intensify somewhat and become quite strong. So again, what's going on now, the tornado is starting to enter its dissipation stage where the parent mesocyclone is being cut off. We're going to see a new circulation develop here with a possible second new tornado soon just north of Rising Star. Parent circulation with the tornado ongoing now 7 to 8 miles northeast of Cross Plains will probably dissipate here in the next few minutes with, again, new tornado developing just northwest of Rising Star. So again, those of you Rising Star to Branton, to Romney, Carbon, Rising Star, Branton, Romney, south of Cisco, 183, be in a safe place in Eastland County. Those of you on Highway 6 from Carbon to Gorman, Eastland County, be in a safe place. This may eventually pose an issue to Gorman to De Leon in the next hour. And again, this storm's moving east-northeast 20 to 25 miles an hour. Chelsea still has a visual on that tornado. In Eastland County, storm number 2 we're watching has a possible tornado approaching Highway 148 about 6 to 10 miles south of Henrietta. That's going to be moving off to the east-northeast at about 20 to 25 miles an hour. This storm has a history of producing tornadoes and is going to cross Highway 287 from Dick Worsham down to Bellevue. Could eventually pose a direct threat to the city of Ringgold here at the intersection of 81 and 82 in western Montague County. May even, if it turns right at all, it's going to say yippity-doo, yippity-day, hello, folks, in Nakona. So again, those of you eastern Clay County, south of Henrietta, into western Montague County, Nakona, Ringgold, Belcherville, Stoneburg, north of Bowie. This storm has a history of producing tornadoes. Keep an eye on it. Wichita Falls, you're clear. Storms are all off to your northeast now. Oh, good. I've got a supercell developing just southwest of me. Well, I'll have to keep an eye on that. And again, the only other, we're really watching 2 storms in Texas now. Storm 1 is the one down here in Eastland County. Has a tornado still. You can see tornado is more narrow, but it is still down. Eventually, though, it's going to dissipate in the next few minutes. You can see it. And again, trying to push data out is like out down here. Sometimes like trying to shove a softball through a garden hose. It's just not going to work well. But again, you can see the tornado becoming more narrow. It's still down. It's a thin rope now, but it could still have a very violent circulation in the low levels. So again, that tornado is going to be gone soon. We're going to have a new tornado possibly develop just northwest of Rising Star. This remains a very well-organized supercell. In fact, you can see we could have a tornado down here at any point just north of Rising Star. I mean, this thing's trying to spin up. So again, those of you in Rising Star up to Branton to Romney on 183, you need to be in a safe place. Those of you on 6 from Carbon to Gorman need to be in a safe place. Eventually, this could be an issue for Desdemona to north of De Leon on Highway 16 in the next hour. So that is tornadic storm number 2, technically, across Eastland County, moving to portions of northern Comanche County and eventually portions of western Erath County. Storm number 2, capable of also producing a tornado, is across portions of southern Clay County, moving towards western Montague County. This storm right now doesn't have that classic spinny, spinny, doom, doom look, but it is probably just cycling. It could put another tornado down at any time as it moves off to the east-northeast. We'll see. We'll switch over to the which way the wind's blowing mode. And again, it's more difficult to find a circulation right now, but there is still one, it looks like, very near County Road 148. This did swing north a bit, so this is not 8 to 10 south of Henrietta. This is probably closer to 4 to 7 miles south of Henrietta now on 148. Again, the possibility of a spin-up tornado occurring with a circulation in proximity of 148, Angel Lane, Bollinger Road, New London Road, north or around Flag Road, Angel Lane, Neville Road. Again, we could have large hail with this on 287 right now. We're going to have a new tornado warning for Clay County. Computer's about to squeal like a pig, so stand by. And because this storm has turned further north, those of you in Henrietta do now need to take shelter. Henrietta, you need to be in a safe place now. The storm's turned a little north, which places you all in the threat of danger. So Henrietta, Dick Worsham, Bellevue, you need to be in a safe place on Highway 287. That'll be the lowest floor. Center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. We could have a tornado down at any point. South of Henrietta on 148, that'll cross over 287 near or just southeast of Henrietta. This storm is now moving northeast at 25 miles an hour, could pose a direct threat to the community of Ringgold at Highway 81 and Highway 82 in western Montague County in the next 30 minutes, where a tornado warning may become required. All right, let's go back down to Eastland County. We've got a storm that we just showed you had a tornado a few minutes ago from storm chaser Chelsea Burnett. The storm farther north, we've shown you tornado footage and video pictures from storm chasers Alex Bartholomew and Jenny Brown over the last hour. So Texas storm chasers definitely getting it done today, helping keep you informed and up to date on the latest from Mother Nature's temper tantrums. The tornado down in Eastland County that we showed you moments ago has likely dissipated, occluded with a new circulation now just north of Rising Star. I'll switch you back over to the animation view here, switch it to half an hour, and we'll show you what's going on. Now, it's going to load back for a second, then play forward, but you could see, take a look. Circulation, tornado spun up just northeast of Cross Plains, was down for probably 10 minutes. You can see that has dissipated. It's gone. It's ouchie. Bye-bye. Adios. Au revoir. Bitter Zane. Goodbye. New circulation developing now just north and northeast of Rising Star. You can see how this new circulation is moving more to the east. Old circulation, northeast, swung north while dissipating. New circulation is moving more to the east. So again, this storm could produce another tornado at any time as it moves from west to east, meaning those of you from Gorman to De Leon, Desdemona, there we go, Rucker, Duster, Gorman, east of Rising Star, y'all need to be in a safe place. If this new circulation spins up, we're going to have a new tornado warning issued, and that tornado warning will take us into Eastland County. So again, we're busy. We've got 2 storms capable of producing tornadoes. Tornado number 1 would be approaching Highway 148 and Highway 287 near or just southeast of Henrietta up in Clay County, about to cross over Highway 287. Near Dick Worsham, northwest of Bellevue. At this point, this looks like it's going to stay northwest of Bellevue, but I still wouldn't want you driving on 287 between Bellevue and Henrietta. Those of you near Dick Worsham, between Henrietta and Bellevue, you need to be in a safe place. That'll be the lowest floor. Center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. So this could put another tornado down at any time, just southeast of Henrietta, approaching 287 now, near or east of 148. That eventually may require a tornado warning for northwestern portions of Montague County, including the city of Ringgold, in the next several minutes. We've got a severe thunderstorm with a history of producing tornadoes. We just showed you that tornado moments ago from storm chaser Chelsea Burnett. And that new tornado would be just northeast of Rising Star. All right, I'm going to try to switch this audio source real quick to one that will take care of some of this noise filtering. This may not work. We'll see. It's dangerous to play with buttons. All right. Nope. All right, I tried. That was probably a pretty nasty sound. I saw my noise filter just go youchies. So again, storm now just northeast of Rising Star, capable of producing a tornado. That circulation would be on Highway 36 right now, just near or east of Rising Star. I don't think we have a tornado down this second, but we definitely might see one try to develop with this thunderstorm as it continues to now move more east. This thing took a right turn and is moving east right now at about 25 miles an hour. Back up in portions of, and again, this storm could be around for a while. We have new storms trying to develop back southwest in portions of Callahan and Coleman counties. For now, those are behaving, but we're going to need to watch that carefully.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Montague County in Texas.
Okay, so let's go back to northern storm. This storm, Weather Service just put a severe thunderstorm warning out on for Montague County. That's for the potential of damaging winds and hail. If we have a tornado, it would likely still be back between 148 and 287, just southeast of Dick Worsham, or excuse me. Yeah, that might be right. Just southeast of Henrietta near Dick Worsham, northwest of Bellevue. Bellevue, you're clear. This isn't an issue for you. Henrietta, it could be close, but it'll probably stay southeast of town. Ringgold, you're about to get hail and wind. Could be golf ball size hail. And if we have a new circulation develop, that could be an issue for y'all. But for at the moment, the most intense storm is definitely the one down near Rising Star. Speaking of which, I'm going to look at some data on my end real quick. Storm chaser Chelsea Burnett is down near Rising Star, keeping a close eye on this. We don't have a tornado down this second. All right, I'm going to look at some data. All right. So it's 6:03 p.m. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy and Chief David Reimer. We now have two severe thunderstorms in the state of Texas. One, Eastland County, near Rising Star, moving towards Gorman, De Leon, Duster, Desdemona. That storm has a history of producing a tornado over the last 30 minutes, along with tennis ball size hail damaging winds. We've got a severe thunderstorm near Henrietta in eastern Clay County, moving towards western Montague County. This storm produced tornadoes about an hour ago, not recently, has the potential of large hail, damaging winds, and we're still keeping a close eye on it, just in case it tries to spin up again. A tornado warning remains in effect for eastern Clay County for the next 25 minutes. Tornado warning for Eastland County for another 10 minutes. We'll see what they end up doing.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Jefferson County in Oklahoma, Clay County in Texas.
All right, what's this discussion say? Let me put this on a loop for y'all so you can at least see what's going on. I know I'm being quiet the last few minutes. I'm just looking over some data because, well, I'm a nerd. But the least I can do is let y'all see what the timeline has been over the last hour, and then we can talk about what our expectations are over the next few hours. If we have a tornado on the Clay County storm, it would probably be near Dick Worsham right now. That's where the strongest rotation is. It's not super strong rotation, but it's there. That storm is definitely weaker than it was earlier. We could have a tornado trying to develop again east of Rising Star now by about 4 miles. That'd be where 587 and 36 split off. This new circulation, what looks like it wants to ride 587 east towards Duster and De Leon, which would then put it into northern Comanche County, where a new warning may be required shortly. We'll see what the Weather Service decides to do, but regardless, it doesn't sound like, as far as I know, we have tornadoes down with either of these storms in Texas right now. It's not a guarantee to stay that way. And we also have a storm trying to develop now pretty quickly back southwest across plains. We're going to have to keep an eye on that in case it tries to become a dominant supercell with an attitude as well. But again, most folks not dealing with a thing. A few folks, you're dealing with a pretty big thing. So again, we have 2 tornado warnings at this point. One, southeastern Eastland County, east of Rising Star, south of Carbon, southwest of Gorman, moving east towards Duster and DeLeon. That storm has the potential of a tornado, large hail, damaging winds. Storm chaser Chelsea Burnett, keeping an eye on that storm. Storm number 2, eastern Clay County. Henrietta, you're clear. This storm in any circulation will stay southeast of Henrietta now. Moving towards Ringgold. Highway 82 between Henrietta and Ringgold. That storm, again, still showing some rotation, could have hail, damaging straight line winds. We have a new storm developing just southwest of Cross Plains, west of Crosscut. That one may end up being a hail threat soon. Storm chaser Chelsea Burnett is on the southern storms around Rising Star and Cross Plains. Most of these storms are either moving east or northeast at about 20 to 30 miles per hour. So again, we only have a few storms, which is good. Most folks not going to get hit by storms. As it looks now, DFW, you're not looking bad. I mean, notice there's no storms moving towards you right now, which is a lot better than we thought we might be looking right now. So that is good. But again, we have a tornado warning for eastern Clay County. That storm is moving towards western Montague County on the Red River. We have a tornado warning for Eastland County. That storm is moving towards western portions of
a new
Speak of the
tornado
devil.
warning has been issued for Comanche and Eastland County in Texas.
All right, so this is going to be a new tornado warning for the southern storm. That's the one Chelsea is on. We'll go ahead and stop this loop and take a look. It's going to be a tornado warning that does include southeastern Eastland and northwestern Comanche County, and this will be until 7:15 p.m. A tornado warning that does include the communities of Duster, Ruster, how about this? Duster, Rucker, Gorman, DeLeon, Downing. This includes Highway 16 from near Downing all the way up to near Desdemona. This includes Highway 6 from Gorman through DeLeon to west of Dublin. This includes Highway 587 from, well, pretty much from Rising Star, east of Rising Star to DeLeon. If you're in Rising Star, you're clear. But again, this thing is starting to show some increased circulation again. You can see we've got that little baby rat hook. Again, this is several miles east of Rising Star now. Moving off to the east, right towards DeLeon, unfortunately. So those of y'all need to be there or there need to be in a safe place. That'll be lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. And again, this storm's moving east at about 25 miles an hour, 7 miles east of Rising Star, 19 miles south of Eastland, moving east at 25. The potential for tennis ball size hail, in addition to that of damaging winds and a tornado. And you can see this thing's pretty well organized. I just took a lightning hit. That wasn't very nice of a certain Stormy. A big old hail dump now, southwest of Gorman, northeast of Rising Star. Why am I taking lightning hits? Oh, because there's a supercell moving towards me. That's unfortunate. Okay. So I've got some storms moving towards my location. So just for planning situational awareness purposes, if for some reason I take a quick power hit, everything in this office, all the technology are on batteries. I've got probably maybe 5 to 20 minutes of battery power for most of this. If it's not a quick power hit, what you're going to see me do real quick, regardless of what's going on, is quickly get up from this chair and get everything plugged into a generator, which would then allow me to continue severe weather coverage even if I lose commercial power. If none of that happens, good. If the lightning strike happens to hit nearby and I jump 15 feet, well, that's good for your entertainment, right? So again, we've got a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. That is the view Chelsea Burnett has. That's going to be northeast of Rising Star, west of De Leon. So that's the storm. You can see wall cloud there. We don't have a visual on any sort of a tornado at this point. But that is going to be the thunderstorm in Eastland moving towards Comanche County. We've got a severe thunderstorm farther north that still looks somewhat organized. It may be a bit more organized than it was earlier. Yeah, you can see we're starting to get more of a hook echo with this northern storm again. This is about to move over Ringgold. Ringgold's at 81 and 82. This storm's moving east. And yeah, you can see we definitely do have a circulation here with this thunderstorm. So we'll see if the Weather Service elects to extend the tornado warning into western portions of Montague County. But again, this is going to be a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado east of Henrietta. This will not be a threat to Henrietta. If you're in Henrietta, you're clear. This circulation is going to be about 8 miles east of Henrietta, about to cross over Highway 82, very near Highway 81 in the community of Ringgold. Looks like the hail threat, Nakona, back west on 82 to Ringgold. Threat of a tornado would be a couple miles southwest of Ringgold right now, moving northeast at about 25 miles an hour. So if this happens, and this keeps moving northeast, this will eventually move up into portions of Jefferson County, Oklahoma. But, yeah, this thing's getting more organized again. But if this thing pulls a move like the storm down in Eastland and Comanche County and turns right, this may end up riding the Red River or Highway 82 further east into Montague County. Regardless, hail likely right now from west of Nakona to Belcherville to Ringgold to east of Henrietta on Highway 82. If we have a tornado developing, it's 7 miles southwest of Ringgold right now, probably very near East Earl Springs Road, west of Highway 81, South Bryant Edwards Road, south of 82, moving east-northeast towards Ringgold. Why Ringgold is not on this map, I don't know, but I need to probably add it to it at some point. So again, this storm's moving east-northeast. I don't think it's moving at 55 miles an hour, but it's cooking and booking. What's the Weather Service got it moving at? 30. So yeah, it's moving east-northeast at 30. I'll put a storm track on it, but again, for what it's worth, yeah, it would cross into southern Oklahoma, potentially be an issue for places like Marietta and Ardmore in an hour and a half. Back south we go. We've got a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado about 8 to 9 miles east of Rising Star. This is going to be moving east towards D. Leon. We had a view from Storm Chaser Chelsea Burnett a bit ago that showed a wall cloud but no tornado. But we'll have to keep a close eye on this storm in case it attempts to drop another tornado. We notice back over Cross Plains, y'all are about to get a storm with maybe some small hail with it. There's no tornado with that. And this storm moving east towards D. Leon is trying to reorganize. It's not super organized in the low-level rotation department right now, but it is capable of trying to spin up another quick tornado. The potential for some quarter to tennis ball size hail, heavy rain, and strong winds moving east, east-southeast at about 25 to 30 miles an hour. You can see that latest radar scan actually had that hook kind of wrap up closer to the storm a bit. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. If that happens, that could be the rear flank downdraft coming on around over County Road 186, approaching County Road 195, and that could be just north of 587, would try to maybe increase the tornado threat a wee bit. We'll see. We'll have a view from Storm Chaser Chelsea Burnett again in a minute. And again, for what it's worth, those of you in D. Leon, you need to be in a safe place. Same thing all the way up to Gorman, Rucker, and Duster. If you're on FM 587 west at D. Leon, east of Rising Star, you need to be in a safe place. If you're on Highway 6 from Gorman, Rucker to D. Leon, you need to move to a safe place. The potential for quarter to tennis ball size hail, damaging straight line winds, and perhaps a tornado. We've got a storm that is starting to show increasing rotation again, approaching Ringgold, moving into western Montague County. So strong winds, the potential for quarter to tennis ball size hail with that, maybe a tornado. I've got a hail core developing just southwest of my location, which means I'm probably about to hear hailstones hitting things I would prefer not to have hit with hailstones, but, well, Mother Nature don't really give two bippity-boppity boos. And hopefully I won't get struck by lightning, because that's kind of scary. All right. So again, those of you in Gorman down to D. Leon here in Comanche County, you need to be in a safe place. That'll be the lowest floor, central room. Many walls between you and the outside as possible. Again, potential for large hail, damaging winds, and this storm has a history of producing tornadoes and may try to produce another tornado at any time. We've got a storm back farther west over Cross Plains. There could be small hail with that, but Cross Plains, Rising Star, you're clear from any tornado issues. And then back up here in northwest Texas we go. A couple of new storms starting to develop in southwestern Oklahoma. We're going to have to keep an eye on those. I don't think they would move into Texas, but it just is an indication of increasing lift. We'll have to make sure we don't get any new storms in Texas. The potential for a quarter to golf ball size hail, maybe tennis balls, over the city of Ringgold up to Terrell, Terral, Oklahoma on 81. This storm also does have some rotation now on the Clay Montague County line. That'll move northeast at this point up towards Ringgold and Highway 82. Now, we haven't had any reports of a tornado with this in the last 45 minutes, but it still does have some modest rotation. It's borderline. The Weather Service in Fort Worth has a severe thunderstorm warning for Ringgold and Nocona. No tornado warning right now. But again, the potential for this to produce large hail, damaging winds, maybe a tornado as it continues to move off to the northeast. The threat of hail is increasing. Duster, Gorman, Rucker, De Leon in Comanche County. That storm has a pretty nasty hail core. Still some modest to increasing low-level rotation. And that storm is moving towards De Leon in Comanche County. We already have lightning strikes all the way out into portions of Hamilton and Erath County with this southern storm. And for what it's worth, I mean, we don't talk about it typically. We got storms all over northwest Oklahoma dropping tornadoes right now. We've got tornadoes southeast of Woodward to near Mutual, northwest and northeast of Sealing. It's not a fun time in northwestern Oklahoma. And then as we take a look at the storm in southwest Kansas, southwest of Medicine Lodge, moving due east, that's probably going to have a tornado on it. Those could impact I-35 in northern Oklahoma, southern Kansas. We got some storms in southwestern Oklahoma trying to develop and move into central Oklahoma. Those could have large hail. We'll have to keep an eye out for signs of rotation. Texas, we have 2 severe storms. Each have produced tornadoes in the last 2 hours. Storm number 1, it's going to be this storm now near Ringgold, moving northeast towards southern Oklahoma and northwestern Montague County. An exception would be if this storm turned hard right in the next 20 minutes. But for now, it's about to be north of Highway 82, moving towards far southern Oklahoma. That could be an issue for Ardmore and Marietta, Oklahoma. Highway 32 west towards Ryan. Highway 70, Lone Grove, Wilson to Ringling, Oklahoma. That could be an issue. This supercell in Ringgold. But at this point, it's moving out of the tornado warning. It doesn't look like the Weather Service is going to put a tornado warning on it. So we're about to be down to 1 storm and 1 tornado warning. And that's going to be the storm chaser Chelsea Burnett is on, southwest of Gorman, moving east-southeast towards De Leon. This storm has the potential of producing large hail, damaging winds, heavy rainfall, the potential for a tornado. And again, this storm's moving east-southeast at about 25 to 30 miles an hour. That would have the circulation in De Leon in the next 20 to 30 minutes. But again, as you can see by the visual evidence, we have a wall cloud from storm chaser Chelsea Burnett. We'll just switch to her real quick. It's going to be a wall cloud. We can look for pockets of rotation. And yeah, there's some movement in the cloud base. But at this point, we don't have anything that indicates a tornado. But look how quickly this scud is forming. This is simply moisture being ingested by the thunderstorm and condensing. This is what we call inflow. If we had a tornado develop out of here, it would be in this general area, and we'd be looking for a ground circulation. What it looks like, though, is look at all this wind. You can see some dust. At least that looked like dust. You can see how things change so quickly. Look, a minute ago we had a pretty flat base. Now we're seeing that wall cloud start to lower and lower and lower. And that occurs as the thunderstorm's updraft intensifies and we end up having the circulation intensify. Now, we don't have a tornado with this right now. We have a tornado warning. That does include De Leon, Duster, Rucker, and Gorman, and Downing here in northern Comanche County. We'll go back to the stream so I can show you. I'll even zoom out. This storm will stay southwest of Stephenville, probably, unless it turns a little left, in which case it may bring some rain and hail to Stephenville. De Leon, you're under the threat. Same for Duster, Rucker. We could have quarter to tennis ball size hail southwest of Gorman right now. This storm will stay south of Desdemona. Originally, it looked like it may move into Desdemona, but the storm itself had turned right and is moving more to the east now. This thunderstorm back west, a little storm near Cross Plains with some hail. And then we'll quickly go take a look at the storm up in Montague County, where it doesn't look like we're going to have a tornado warning with this storm. We'll switch to the Frederick radar. And again, this storm is going to be moving northeast. So this storm will shortly be moving away from Ringgold, moving away from Nakona, rural portions of northern Montague County, before moving into portions of Jefferson, Carter, and Love counties in Oklahoma. This will probably cross over I-35 around Marietta to Ardmore, Oklahoma, in about 70 to 90 minutes. The potential for it to still be severe with large hail, damaging winds, maybe even a tornado threat. So otherwise, we're going to be left shortly with one severe storm, and that'll be this storm in northern Comanche County, from Gorman to De Leon on Highway 6. Some pretty good-sized hail with that. moving east-southeast at about 25 to 30 miles an hour. And we can't rule out some additional storms trying to fire up on the dry line. But real quick, let's just turn on rapid updating satellite here. And this is just to see if we have any other imminent attempts at thunderstorms. Now, here's something to take a look at that we're not seeing on radar right now, but take a look. We have some towering cumulus going up here over northern Young County. We're going to have to watch that for signs of a new thunderstorm trying to develop. Otherwise, you can see, let's do this. I don't get to do this very often. Let's turn off the radar. This is rapid update satellite. This updates every 60 seconds, faster than the radar data. Let's take a loop, because this is going to look really cool. Here's just the satellite data over the last hour. I'll turn off the warnings, let you just see what's going on. You can see the thunderstorm tops. You could see the anvil blow off. The debris, or the upper level cloud debris from these storms, moving east, already to Louisiana and Arkansas, because we have, 100-mile-an-hour winds in the upper levels of the atmosphere blowing all this cloud debris east. Notice how all these clouds northwest Oklahoma kind of are starting to dissipate, but being ingested into the supercells near Woodward down to Canton, Oklahoma. That's a storm dominating its environment. The same thing goes for these storms here in North Texas. Take a look. We'll have to keep an eye out on this area, northern Young County, northern Throckmorton counties. Take a look. A little thunderstorm trying to get going there. But otherwise, we're not seeing any other attempts at thunderstorm development right now. Fairly muted cumulus east of the dry line. So again, notice no thunderstorm development. Concho Valley.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Jefferson and Love County in Oklahoma. Clay County in Texas.
No, development in Central Texas or the Brazos Valley. Nothing that's developing here in North Texas right now. Again, and then just that one little updraft trying to go up quickly in the last maybe 10 minutes here. Northeastern Throckmorton, northwestern Young County. Otherwise, you can see behind these storms, things are clear for now. It actually clears out quickly. Now, does this mean we're completely done with storms tonight with new storm development? I can't completely rule that out, especially across northwest Texas and the Big Country and western North Texas. For example, look up here in Oklahoma. You can see we've had some new thunderstorm development try to go up over the last couple of scans here. I'll switch to a different mode that shows you cloud tops with the satellite data. And you can see, yeah, we've had some stuff try to go up. Colder cloud tops, taller cloud tops, brighter colors. You can see this storm just east of Lawn, for example, doing that. So again, this is what satellite looks like. You can see it's very hazy, eastern two-thirds of Texas. That little milky look, that's all the humidity. It feels like the Gulf of Mexico. It's humid. West of the dry line, it's clear, it's windy, it's dry. You can see with Chelsea Burnett, we don't have a tornado right now. With the storm south of Gorman, west of De Leon, but a tornado warning does continue until 7:15 p.m. for De Leon, Duster, Rucker, Downing in northern portions of Comanche County. We'll take a look at the last few hours on satellite and radar data. I'll get the warnings back on. We'll take the reports off. You can see it's been a busy afternoon across portions of northwest Texas, the Big Country, western North Texas, into Oklahoma. Storms fired up pretty early. If these storms had fired up at, 5:30 or 6 o'clock, we'd probably be having many more issues than we've had. Yeah, we've still had tornadoes and hail and wind, but those storms developed when low-level wind shear was still pretty weak. Low-level wind shear is just starting to increase now through 8 o'clock. Same thing goes for Kansas, Oklahoma. Notice how most of those storms have gone tornado warned. So we got a little lucky in the regards of that timing because it seems like, honestly, we're losing storms here. Notice we're dwindling. They fired too early. And even though the ingredients for severe weather are increasing now and tornado threat the tornado ingredients are increasing, there's not really any storms to utilize it. We've got 2 storms. One near De Leon that's holding its own. Second is in northwestern Monte County. And to be honest with you, that storm's not looking all that healthy right now. And it's moving into portions of Jefferson, Love, and Carter counties in southern Oklahoma. So we may get kind of lucky here in the sense we may be able to wind this down soon. Maybe. But until the stormies are done, we're going to be here for you. And again, we've got this lone supercell near De Leon. The cloud debris from this going all the way to Louisiana at this point. Those upper level clouds, you might have some mammatus under it, those bubbly clouds. Notice all that convected debris being blown off and flying off into Louisiana, hundreds of miles away. All from really one intense supercell. All right, we'll get back to it. Again, we're about to lose our Monte County storm. This thing is moving northeast into Jefferson and Love counties north of Red River in Oklahoma. And that'll be an issue for Ardmore over to Marietta. And yeah, the low circulation is actually starting to increase with it. Again, I mean, funny enough, theoretically, if we didn't have storms in Texas I was having to cover right now, I could probably go storm chase this thing. But we're going to stay here and cover things in Texas until Texas calms down. And then if I want to go run out the door and play with a spinny, spinny, doom, doom, I can. But I don't really need to. This is my job, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Baldy, the chief. The Baldy in chief. Ooh, that was a good thunder. That shook the house. That's going to upset the dog, and now the dog's going to demand attention. Yeah, you're okay. I know. It was a scary lightning. The little lightning's trying to get you. I know. You don't like lightning. It's okay. I give you pets. I give you reassuring love. It's okie dokie. Okay, so again, Ringgold, you're clear. Nocona, you're clear. If you are along the Red River in Monte County, you've got problems in terms of hail and wind. Same thing goes if you're in Jefferson County, Oklahoma, up into Love and Carter County, Oklahoma, Marietta to Ardmore. You could have some issues. Back down into Comanche County, we've got a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado approaching De Leon. That's where Chelsea's located. Really, I mean, yeah, there is some circulation here, but notice, interestingly, how that circulation seems to be misplaced or displaced from that reflectivity hook. So again, not super organized right now in terms of low-level rotation. Hi, can I help you? My goodness. Yeah, it's okay. I'm sorry, did you want to be on cam, Doc? Here, I'll show you my fancy PJs and all that. Cece, come on, up. Hey, you're okay. Hey. Nope, she's done with me. Hi. I am wearing snowflake pajama pants, and yes, I still need to get a new office chair. But again, this is the only severe storm we have left in the state of Texas now, and that is approaching De Leon in portions of Comanche County. As I reset my radar program, what may be happening is we may be starting to see our capping inversion increase, putting a lid back on the atmosphere, or for now, we're just seeing the storms move away from the upper level lift because they fired so early. But again, one storm back over Rising Star to Cross Plains, that might have some dime-size hail, heavy rain. We've got a severe storm with a history of producing a couple of spin-up tornadoes now just northwest of De Leon, moving off to the east-southeast at 30 miles an hour. The way it looks now, I don't think the Weather Service would issue a new tornado warning if they didn't already have one on it. But for the moment, they're going to stick with it. Potential for quarter to tennis ball size hail with this thunderstorm northwest of De Leon on Highway 6 near Rucker, and it is moving off to the east-southeast at about 30. It looks less organized than it did earlier. I mean, yes, it is still a severe storm, but it's struggling as it gets farther east away from the main source of upper level lift. And Jason, I assume you're listening to me. Let me know. If you are, your plan to go north, expedite it. I'm telling Jason to go up. He's heading up to this storm after getting off work in the DFW Metroplex. Because this thing is starting to look more impressive again. Starting to see increasing rotation northwest of Nakona. And that's going to be moving northeast over the Red River shortly. But those of you north of Belcherville, northwest of Nakona, be in a safe place just in case.
I'm going north, David. I'm north of Denton, almost in Sanger. My live stream is up now.
Oh, he has a live stream, huh? Well, let's set it up. One moment, please, while I play with the magical buttons of life, ladies and gentlemen. Got that set up. We got that set up. I just need to change the name. And again, meteorologist Jason Cooley's heading his happy self up Interstate 35. He's going to go intercept this storm. Now, admittedly, it's going to be in southern Oklahoma, but we care about our southern Okie friends. This thing is starting to show some increasing rotation again north of Belcherville, northwest of the city of Nakona. The rotation would be about 6 miles northwest of Nakona. And again, this storm's moving northeast. It's going to spend some time over rural portions of northern Montague County, though. And they may have to put a tornado warning out on it. They did just put a tornado warning north of the Red River. So we're probably about to get a tornado warning for northern Montague County, north of Highway 82, north of the city of Nakona, north of Belcherville. So those of you from north of Bonita, north of Nakona, north of Belcherville, FM 107 up, or excuse me, FM 103 up to the Red River, probably need to go into a safe place. This may have turned right. I think it turned east. Son of a gun, did it have to do that? Oh, come on. And by what I mean by turned east is, here, let me show you. If it turned east, it is going to be our problem for a while. At least until it moves over the Red River and into southern Love County. Yeah, this thing turned east. This thing took a hard right, I think. We're seeing increasing rotation now north of Nakona, northeast of Belcherville. We noticed the Weather Service in Norman has put a tornado warning on this storm for the Oklahoma side of the Red River. We may see the same for the south sides of the Red River in northern Montague County, north of Nakona, north of Belcherville, northwest of Bonita, up to the Red River in northern Montague County. Let me see if there's any communities up here I can put some names on. So Lake Nakona, FM 103 up to Roland, Spanish Fort, Illinois Bend, Caps Corner, Nakona Hills, Lake Nakona. It would not be the worst idea for y'all to treat this as a tornado warning with the potential of this thing to become a bit rowdy, potential for large hail, damaging winds, and maybe a tornado. Notice how it was moving northeast and has kind of turned east in the last 10 minutes. And the Weather Service in Norman, north of the Red River, has put a tornado warning on it. And now we've got one for the Texas side.
A new tornado warning has been issued for Montague County in Texas.
Montague County, you overgrown thing. So again, this is going to be a tornado warning now for northern Montague County in North Texas. This tornado warning will not include the city of Nakona, but it will include everyone north of 82, north of Belcherville, north of Nakona, north of Bonita. This will include FM 1956 from Nakona to Caps Corner.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Comanche and Arath County in Texas.
Okay, so they're going to let the tornado warning for the southern storm go, but now we've got a tornado warning for the Montague County storm. See how these things work? Okay, so it's going to be a tornado warning for northern Montague County, FM 1956 from Nakona east to Caps Corner, FM 103 north of Nakona up to Roland, Spanish Fort, 2953 around the Mayfield Cemetery east to the Merle Cemetery, the Illinois Bend, FM 89 from Courtney, Oklahoma down to FM 677, Caps Corner. You're in the tornado warning. Y'all need to be in a safe place. That'll be the lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Those of you on Lake Nakona, please get off the lake. You're about to get hit by a tornado, and if it moves over the lake as a tornado, it'll be a waterspout. But you want to know something? It'll still throw you. It doesn't matter if you're getting thrown by a waterspout on a lake or a tornado on land. It's going to hurt. But again, this thing's wrapping up again. The potential for a tornado to develop with this thunderstorm as it moves towards Lake Nakona. Nakona Hills, Spanish Fort, Roland, and again, now it's really got strong rotation, folks. So again, this is the only tornado warning we have now. If you are in Rising Star, you might have hail with a new storm going up over you. If you're in Rucker to De Leon, tornado warning's canceled. You're clear. Tornado warning continues, or excuse me, a severe thunderstorm warning continues now from Stephenville to Dublin to De Leon with that storm. It's no longer tornadic. This storm across portions of northern Montague County is trying to do bad things now with the potential of a tornado developing just north of Nakona, where we have multiple reports of a rapidly rotating wall cloud. This is going to be moving towards Lake Nakona. Boone Park, north of FM 1956 for now, moving towards really Lake Nakona, FM 2634, Spanish Fort, Roland, the Illinois Bend, FM 2953, FM 103, FM 2953, FM 103, FM 2634, the Cruisers RV Park, Weldon Robb Park, the Nakona Hills Country Club, Jen Benton Park, Boone Park, Lake Nakona. Get your butt in shelter. That'll be the lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. So again, this is a tornado warning for northern Montague County, a possible tornado approaching Lake Nakona north of the city of Nakona. You can see this thing went from disorganized back to holy sweet guacamole real quick. Storm chaser Jason Cooley is heading his way up there. Oh, this is not an easy area to chase in either, unfortunately for him. Because if the storm's going to ride due east on the Red River, there's not really an easy way to do this. It still looks like it has some east-northeast qualities to it, but it's going to be close. What could he do? I mean, he'd have to go all the way pretty much west to St. Joe, go up through Caps Corner to the Illinois Bend to get to 89, where a Red River crossing is, to get to Courtney and Highway 32 on the Oklahoma side of the river. But that's he'd have to go west on 82 first. Otherwise, he's going to have to go up to Marietta and go west, probably. But again, a possible developing tornado now approaching Lake Nakona. North of Nakona, approaching Nakona Hills, Spanish Fort, Roland, the Illinois Bend. The which way the wind's blowing mode, you can see, yeah, we've got a pretty good circulation. The potential for a tornado to develop at any time with this thunderstorm. We're looking about 6,000 feet above the surface here. And we're not in range of the Durant radar yet, but that'll become an increasingly needed feature as we move on with this. Boy, that's either a big fly or I've got a bee in the office. Either way, it's going to get set on fire here if it tries to get me. What is that? Is that a fly? Sad. I'm going to whack it with something. Anyway, the good news is this storm down south, the DeLeon storm, is weakening. I mean, it's still strong. It has some quarter-size hail, but it's no longer capable of producing a tornado. We got a storm just north of Rising Star. That has a bit of hail with it. All right, so again, severe storm, DeLeon moving towards Dublin, Stephenville, maybe some quarter-size hail, gusty winds, no more tornado with that. Back up on the Red River we go. This one could have a tornado.
Hello. My phone went crazy. It's because I was added to chat. I'm about to come into Ryan, Oklahoma, and then go east like really fast. And yeah, yay.
Well, there you have it. Ryan, Oklahoma up there, so we're going to have a view from him soon. All right, so again, north of Nakona, the potential for a spin-up tornado damaging straight-line winds, large hail approaching Nakona Lake, Nakona Hills, moving northeast towards the Spanish Fort, the Illinois Bend, FM 2953.
Local storm report from 2 miles southeast of Gorman in Comanche County, Texas. Hail magnitude measured 1.50 inches. Reported by public. Additional information, report of ping pong ball size hail SE of Gorman.
But again, this thunderstorm is north of the city of Nakona. Not Nakona, you're fine. This is staying to your north. Bonita, same thing. It's staying to your north. Those of you in Belcherville, you're clear. Ringgold, you're clear. St. Joe, this was never your issue. This will not be an issue for Gainesville or Cook County. This storm is still moving to the east-northeast. It just turned right a little, so this may be an issue for far northwestern Cook County, and then it's going to move into Love County, probably, unfortunately, being an issue to Marietta, Oklahoma, who got hit with an EF4 tornado a month ago, about. But again, the time is now 6:51 p.m. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Boldy-in-Chief David Reimer. We're down to 2 severe thunderstorms in the state of Texas. We've got one approaching DeLeon and Stephenville in Erath County. We have a tornado-warned storm now in northern Montague County, north of the city of Nakona, moving over Lake Nakona, Nakona Hills, moving up towards Illinois Bend, and maybe Bulcher, but probably Illinois Bend. That'll then move into Leon, Oklahoma, southern portions of Jefferson and Love counties. Storm is still trying to turn a little more to the east, though. If that happens, it may ride the Red River in far northwestern Cook County, and then eventually impact southern Love County from near Marietta to Thackerville. The possibility of large hail, damaging winds, and maybe a tornado. We've got Storm Chaser Jason Cooley heading up there pretty darn quickly. We've also got Storm Chaser Alex Bartholomew. They're going to be keeping an eye on this storm even after it moves into the Sooner State. And again, most folks aren't dealing with anything this evening, and it doesn't look like we have any new storms trying to get going, which would be very nice. But again, those of you from Lake Nakona, north of Nakona, up to FM 1956, 3301. Caps Corner up 2953, 373 up to Illinois Bend. To Spanish Fort, you need to be in a safe place. That'll be the lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Same thing goes if you're in Bulcher on 2382 up across the Red River to Leon, Oklahoma. Courtney to Bottom on Highway 32 in Love County, Oklahoma. Over to Bernieville. Need to be in a safe place. That'll be the lowest floor, center room, away from windows. We'll zoom back in. Again, this storm moving east-northeast, turned right a little. We'll go back to the high-res radar. And again, you can see well-defined supercell, area of rotation evident now, probably just a bit east of Lake Nakona, moving towards... No, it's actually probably right on Lake Nakona right now, near Nakona Hills, moving towards Shady Grove Road, Liberty Chapel Cemetery, the Mayfield Cemetery. It'll probably move towards the Illinois Bend, FM 2953, FM 435 crossing over FM 677, and Highway 89, the Red River crossing from Courtney down to Illinois Bend. And then this will continue moving to the east-northeast towards Leon, Oklahoma. This may be one of these pain-in-the-butt storms that sits on the Red River. And so we may see like a sliver of northwestern Cook County under a tornado warning at some point. All right, here's what we're going to do real quick. Take a quick 5-minute break. I'm going to refill my snacky stream. Yeah, why not? And we'll continue with severe weather coverage. So we'll be back here in about 5 minutes. All right, we're back. It's 6:57 p.m. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy-in-Chief David Reimer. Really, the only storm that we have to worry about in terms of a tornado right now, well, besides y'all looking out that door instead of my face. But, again, the good news is the storm down near DeLeon in Comanche County to Stephenville is not tornadic anymore. It has heavy rain and some hail. We have a tornado warning for northeastern Montague County. This should be near Lake Nacona right now. This thunderstorm is capable of producing a tornado, large hail, damaging winds. We don't have reports of a tornado down right now. We've got a rotating wall cloud. As we look at the which way the wind's blowing mode, we certainly have increasing rotation with this thing. So again, continue to be in your safe place. If you are in northeastern Montague County, the potential for a tornado approaching Illinois Bend, FM 2953. FM 373, Caps Corner from 1956, up 373 from Bolcher. Again, this could be a tornado attempting to develop. We're looking about 6,000 feet, so we're looking up, but we've got winds moving towards the radar at about 60, winds moving away at about 40, so about 110 to 120 mile an hour shear with this thunderstorm. See the latest scan, still gate-to-gate shear here, back over to the how hard it's raining mode. I'll see if I can't get some roads on here for you. And again, this will be crossing into far northwestern Montague County far northwestern Cook County and northeastern Montague County. Shady Grove Road, Cottonwood Creek Road, Oak Shores Road, moving towards Durham Road. And again, we've got FM 373 north of Caps Corner, FM 1956 up to the Illinois Bend. We've got FM 2953, all that. So again, this storm remains capable of producing a tornado northeast of Nacona. In terms of some city landmarks, again, this is probably now maybe a mile or two northeast of Lake Nacona, Nacona Hills. 6 miles north of Bonita. This would now be 7 to 8 miles northeast of Nacona, moving off to the northeast at 30 miles an hour. The potential for tennis ball size hail as well. You can see a very well-organized supercell with this thunderstorm moving east-northeast. This will be crossing over the Red River into southern portions of Jefferson County, Love County, and eventually Carter County, impacting I-35 in southern Oklahoma from near Marietta, north of Thackerville, maybe all the way up through Overbrook, about mile marker 20, up to Ardmore, about mile marker 31, 33. Marietta's mile marker 15 to 16 on Interstate 35 in southern Oklahoma. We do have a storm increasing in intensity now back down in the big country / southwestern North Texas. This storm's not a tornado threat right now, but it does have maybe a bit of hail. That's going to be moving up towards maybe Eastland, Carbon, Cisco, the potential for maybe some nickel to quarter-size hail with that as it moves northeast at about 30 miles an hour. And then the storm northeast of De Leon, north of Dublin, west of Stephenville, maybe some small hail. It's definitely weakening, which is good. So again, new storm developing in Eastland County, south of Cisco, moving northeast towards probably Eastland, Carbon. That could have some large hail. We may get a severe thunderstorm warning out of that at some point. Otherwise, the only other storm we're worried about right now is this one on the Red River, Montague County, Cook County, Jefferson County, Love County, trifecta, quadfecta, whatever. Up in North Texas, strong rotation now northeast of Lake Nacona by 2 to 3 miles, moving towards the Illinois Bend. Mayfield Cemetery. This will be crossing over the Red River into southern Oklahoma shortly. And then it'll be an issue for places like Leon, Oklahoma, Courtney, Oklahoma, and just in case, we'll have to keep an eye out for areas like 15 miles northwest of Marysville, Texas. But again, we'll have to see. Let me take a look at some model data real quick, see what we've got going on. I mean, we may not see any more storms get going this evening, which would be nice, but we can't say that for sure. but it'd be nice. You can see this storm is trying to wrap up. Cottonwood Creek Road, Shady Grove Road, just southwest of the Red River. In northern Montague County, I'll zoom out for some references. You can see Marietta, Oklahoma, Gainesville, Texas. And again, from Spanish Fort on FM 103 to the Illinois Bend on 2953, northeast of Lake Nacona, you need to be in a safe place. Looks like this is probably near FM 103 and 2953, northeast of Lake Nacona now, about to cross over the Red River and the bottom plains up into southwestern Oklahoma near Petersburg, or excuse me, southern Oklahoma, southwestern Love County, Leon, Courtney, over to Petersburg, up towards Grady. So again, this will be out of northern Montague County in the next 10 minutes, it looks like. Which would be very nice.
We do have a blip going up near Olney, Texas, for what that's worth.
That was meteorologist Jason Cooley, and what he was just saying was a blip going up back down here. And again, that was with that towering cumulus we saw, if you were with us about 15 minutes ago. Let's go ahead. We'll take a look again. And again, yeah, you could see we definitely do have some increasing towering cumulus. I'm going to actually turn the radar off completely. I know we're getting closer to sunset, a little less easy to see visible satellite imagery. I'm just going to put this on a 30-minute loop. We can see how this is trying to develop, and this is rapid scan imagery, updates every minute. And yeah, you can see we are starting to see some additional development now across portions of Archer County. Now, whether or not these actually materialize into anything more than thunder showers is to be determined. But, again, it is something worth noting. We are seeing some additional towering cumulus develop. Northern Young County, southern portions of Archer County, southern Clay County. We'll take a look. You can see the thunderstorms down in Eastland County towards Stephenville. They're still bubbling on. And we've got some very modest cumulus in, east of the dry line. Abilene, Haskell, Abilene down to Bollinger. That doesn't look like anything that's about to develop. And then we've got a very wrapped up thunderstorm now northeast of Nacona. We'll go back to the radar. Again, this thing's moving up in Oklahoma, but northeast of Nacona, this thing's really wrapped up. Got one of those wrappy hooks near the Illinois Bend, back west to Spanish Fort, probably closer to Spanish Fort, just northeast of FM 103 and FM 2953 in northeastern Montague County. Lake Nacona, you're clear from this. But again, this thing's wrapped up. This could go on to produce a tornado as it crosses the Red River and then move into southwestern Oklahoma. We do have a storm now actually starting to show some indications of development back south of Archer City, back in southern portions of Archer County. Let's switch over to a product that shows echo tops. And again, for what it's worth, tops of storms. You can see storm up here, northeastern Montague County, about 60,000 feet tall. This one in southern Archer County is over 45,000 feet. So yeah, we're going to have to watch it carefully for signs of increased development. You can see it's looking a little more impressive now on the how hard it's raining mode. So again, if that becomes a thing, well, that's north of Olney, south of Archer City. I'm going to pull up the West Texas Mesonet. I want to see how we're doing in terms of the air mass, because we had the earlier storms out here. I want to see if they've left any sort of a rain-cooled boundary. I think it's going to be too far east for the West Texas Mesonet. Yeah. Jacksboro's reporting 88 degrees with A dew point is 75, 90 over 75 in Graham. Boy, that is oppressive. 81 over 76 in Montague County, so the atmosphere is really not worked over, but up in Wichita Falls, 79 over 64, so we have some sort of a boundary sitting up here. But again, we're about to lose our tornado warning in far northeastern Montague County. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado about to move over the Red River, just northeast of Lake Nacona, or about 10 miles northeast of Nacona, moving northeast at 30. That is about to be an issue for Jefferson County, Love County, and Carter counties in Oklahoma. And again, that thing is really wrapped up. But it kind of looks like on this latest scan, it developed a new circulation a little southeast. So again, still, if you're in northeastern Montague County, this thing's near the Red River, but if you're from the Illinois Bend down towards northeast of, from the Illinois Bend over to Spanish Fort, east of Nacona Lake, Lake Nacona, 2953 up to 103, FM 677, crossing over the Red River towards Courtney, which then turns to Highway 89. You need to be in a safe place still. That's going to be lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. And yeah, we are seeing a storm trying to go up in southern Archer County. We'll see if it makes it. If it does, it could be a candidate for a supercell evolution, and we'd have to deal with that. We've got hailers increasing in Eastland County. We'll go take a quick look at that. But again,
a new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Comanche and Eastland County in Texas.
It's going to be for this thunderstorm now, northeast of Rising Star, moving towards Carbon, Gorman, Eastland, Olden, Ranger, Ranger Hill, Interstate 20, Magnum, Desdemona. The potential for this storm to produce ping pong ball size hail, winds of 60. Not a tornado issue. This one is capable of producing large hail, damaging winds. And it's moving off to the northeast at about 30 miles an hour. So again, a severe thunderstorm northeast of Rising Star, about to cross over Highway 6 from Gorman to Carbon to Magnum near Rodney. That could have a quarter to ping pong ball size hail. Moving northeast towards Eastland, Ranger, Interstate 20 in eastern Eastland County, Desdemona up to Interstate 20. Eventually, if this storm continues moving northeast, it may end up being an issue for southwestern Palo Pinto, southeastern Stevens County with hail. We'll see. Keeping an eye on a storm trying to go up in southern Archer County, south of Archer City. We'll keep an eye on that. So far, that storm has not done much, but it has also just developed. It is starting to show a wee bit of a hail core. We could have maybe some nickel-sized hail coming out of that as it tries to slowly develop over the next little while. And then we've got this storm up in northeastern Montague County about to move into portions of Love County, Oklahoma, just southwest of Courtney, Oklahoma, west of Leon, Oklahoma. This is about 11 to 12 miles northeast of Nacona, about 3 to 4 miles northeast of Lake Nacona, crossing over FM 103, 2953, Spanish Fort, passing west of Illinois Bend for now, about to cross over 2953 at FM 677, just before 677 turns south. So again, this is going to be an issue for the Red River, northeastern Montague County, perhaps far northwestern Cook County. Hail core north of the Red River at this point could have nasty hail falling on Highway 32 on the Oklahoma side of the Red River. Eventually, this is going to pose a direct threat to the city of Marietta, Oklahoma, who were hit by a violent EF4 tornado about a month ago. This storm in southern Archer County is trying to become a little more rambunctious. We're going to have to keep an eye on it. Just in case. But again, this should be on the Oklahoma side of the Red River shortly. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back here at 7:20 with another severe weather update as we continue monitoring thunderstorms, only a few, across portions of Texoma into western North Texas. Again, we'll be back here at 7:20, sooner if necessary. right, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It's 7:20 on this, the 25th of May, 2024. We're monitoring a couple of severe thunderstorms now. It's getting a little busier, actually. The tornado warning for Montague County, you're clear. That storm should be crossing over the Red River into Love County, Oklahoma right about now. We have a severe thunderstorm warning now. This is going to be for southern Archer and southern Clay counties. We've got a new storm that has developed and now has a hail core. We'll switch back over to the high-res radar. You can see this storm. Yeah, it's got a bit of a hail core now. It's moving northeast. Now, something I'm noticing here, it may be trying to split. If that happens, we're going to see two updrafts out of this. One's going to move northeast towards Windthorst in Scotland. The second might turn either east or southeast towards northern Young County. If that happens, that could, if it survives, increase the potential we have a more nasty supercell develop out of that over the next 30 minutes. Something we're to keep an eye on. As it stands now, quarter to ping pong ball size hail, probably falling on Highway 79 between Archer City and Olney. In Eastland County, we have a severe thunderstorm passing over Highway 6 over the city of Carbon. That could have $half to ping pong ball size hail, moving northeast at about 20 miles an hour towards the city of Ranger Hill, the rest stop there at Ranger Hill on I-20, and eventually towards southwestern portions of Palo Pinto County, Strawn and Gordon, 16, FM 16 or Highway 16 and Interstate 20. So again, that storm's moving northeast, could have quarter to ping pong ball size hail, strong winds, heavy rain, moving northeast towards Ranger Hill, the rest stops there at Ranger, and Strawn, eventually southwestern Palo Pinto County. We'll keep an eye on it. But again, this storm becoming rambunctious pretty quick here in southern Archer County. We're going to have to monitor that quite carefully in the event it actually does manage to take off. It's not guaranteed. The storm that was in portions of Montague County has now left Montague County. Y'all are clear. Tornado warning for Montague County has expired. Meteorologist Jason Cooley's going west out of Marietta. He's near Bernieville now, which is west of Marietta. I believe he's on Highway, well, I can tell you, he's on Highway 96, so he actually took the southern route. Jason is near Bernieville, which means he's actually about to have a view of the circulation with this thunderstorm now that it has just crossed into Oklahoma. But we'll keep an eye on that. And otherwise, again, the only storms we have in Texas now are severe. Three of them. One, south of Archer City on 79, moving towards Windthorst. Potential for quarter-size hail with that. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning for Eastland County. Severe storm near Carbon, Highway 6, quarter to ping pong ball size hail, moving northeast at about 25 miles an hour towards Highway 16, Interstate 20, east of Ranger. That storm could impact Ranger Hill. The rest stops there up to southern Palo Pinto County. And then this storm over Stephenville, which is weakening, the potential for maybe some quarter-size hail if that 50-mile-an-hour winds, heavy rain in Erath County. All right, otherwise, we're just going to keep an eye on this stream coming from meteorologist Jason Cooley. We'll have another update here at 7:35 p.m., sooner if necessary. And again, Jason is on the Oklahoma side of the Red River now, west of Marietta, moving to intercept this nasty-looking storm across portions of far southern Oklahoma. All right, good evening. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy and Chief David Reimer. Looks like Jason almost had a tornado there with this thunderstorm just north of the Red River. Coming up on Highway 32 west of Marietta. We're going to have to keep a close eye on that. That storm not a threat to Texas. That is going to be an issue for Marietta, Oklahoma, up I-35 towards Overbrook. Very strong rotation with that now being indicated. Back in Texas, well, we've got some storms capable of producing quarter-size hail. We've got one such storm now in southeastern Archer County, and then we have a second cluster of storms that have developed and are back down towards Eastland to Gorman. I'm just keeping a close eye on Jason's stream. He's on a storm that is like 5 miles north of the Red River. This one we had to deal with in Montague County. Back in Texas, again, we've got a supercell capable of producing maybe some nickel to quarter size hail. It's going to be from southeast of Eastland back down towards Desdemona. That storm is moving slowly to the east-northeast, about really 30 miles an hour. It's not super fast. It's not super strong. We've got a couple storms that have tried to go up back in southern portions of Clay County. Those could have a bit of hail. Same thing, far southern Archer County. At this point, those storms are not showing any indications of producing strong low-level rotation. The only storm we have within like 200 miles of Texas capable of producing a tornado at this point is this thunderstorm just north of the Red River up towards Marietta, Oklahoma. And again, I'll just show you the high-res view of that. And again, this is the storm Jason and Alex are on near Highway 32 west of Marietta. You can see very strong rotation with that. This storm moving east-northeast. It'll be crossing over Interstate 35 near Marietta over the next 30 minutes or so. The potential for large damage and hail, strong winds, and perhaps a few tornadoes. Back southwest again, these storms moving north-northeast, southern Clay County, southern Archer County, the potential for quarter-size hail, localized damaging winds, nothing that indicates rotation at this point. And then back in Eastland County, we've got this storm south of Ranger, southeast of Eastland, no indications of rotation with that at this point either. Likelihood for the next several hours is, frankly, if we don't see any sort of new storm development, we're about done in Texas. But these storms we do have could still continue to produce some large hail, damaging winds, and maybe a tornado over the next few hours in western North Texas. We're just going to have to watch and see how they behave, honestly. If they don't really intensify all that much, well, we may be done pretty early this evening, but at the same time, until we're actually done with the storms and they're gone, we're going to keep an eye on them. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to switch you over to the Storm Chase feed. Let y'all watch that. And the general expectation is if we have any new tornado warnings in Texas or any sort of crazy storm behavior, we'll come back and we'll do some live coverage on that. But as always, you can keep an eye on the sky with the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. We've got interactive weather radar, storm chasing video, and more. So thank you for joining us this evening. Just got to make sure we've got all this set up, and we do. So again, we'll be back if we have any new tornado warnings or nasty severe storms. Otherwise, we're going to keep an eye on this storm just north of the Red River near Marietta, Oklahoma. Thanks for joining us this evening. God bless.